for inaugurating the CNN-News18 Town Hall in Bengaluru. Last time we met, I think it was 6 months ago, you had just taken office, you were dealing with a lot of fires. Today, 18 months, you've been Chief Minister, you're leading your party into the next election. Tell the people of Karnataka, a state which historically has not voted the incumbent government back in. Tell us what you have done in the last 18 months. Not like the video said, unlikeliest of circumstances you became Chief Minister, but today you're leading your party to the election. What has your government achieved so far? What will you tell the voters of Karnataka?
Basically, this term was not mandated to any party. However, in these 5 years, 1.5 years was a coalition government. After that, BJP had taken over. And immediately, as you know, there was a COVID. Then it was followed by heavy floods in Karnataka. But however, these adverse conditions, they didn't deter us or stop us from writing a growth story. When I took over, the revenue collections were almost more than 5,000 crore deficit. And within 6 months, we not only recovered those 5,000, but we added 13,000 crores additionally for our kitting. And as you know now, we are highest GST collection after Maharashtra. We have brought economy back on rails. And because of that, we are able to get a sustainable growth just during the COVID and after COVID too. And we have got very steady agriculture production. And as far as secondary sector is concerned, we are as east to doing business is Karnataka is number 1. And the investment climate in Karnataka has become a favorite destination for all sectors. And we are a most progressive thinking government. We have got policies in place. We have got semiconductor policy in place, including decacon, unicorns, We are, in fact, one of the leading states who are driving the engine of growth of our country. And because of this growth, it is not only an economical growth, it's a social infrastructure also we are creating. Just to give a few points, our whole paradigm shift of planning, now we have identified more than 100 aspiration talukas, which were below the normal state normal. And we are focused on education, health, malnutrition, women and child development, and that has been yielding results now. So we have got a better education infrastructure. For the first time in the history of Karnataka, more than 8,000 school rooms are built in 1 year, whereas the average was dwindled to 2,000, 1,500. And we intend to continue it for next 2 years so that the classroom to students ratio is very well maintained. Similarly, upgradations of our hospitals at taluka levels, PH center to CH centers. Regional imbalances have been taken care. And Because of the growth, the employment has increased. Secondly, our government has been a very sensitive government too. We have responded. Therefore, it's a responsible government. We responded to the floods. Earlier, the compensation to the farmers who undergo a lot of losses used to take 1 year, 1.5 years to reach the compensation, that to a meager compensation. For the first time in the state's history, we have doubled the compensation in farm sector. Whatever the government of India gives, we have added equally and doubled the compensations, and all the compensations were given within 1.5 months' time because of the digital platform what we have. That is one of the best digital platform as far as farmers are concerned in the country. And we have been sensitive too. We respond right from health issues. The dialysis is a major issue, people suffer. We doubled the cycles per day in the dialysis. Chemotherapy cycles we doubled. Cochlear implant was nowhere there. We started it, giving 500 crores. We are treating the elders for their eye defects and giving them, making them surgery as well as providing spectacles. Not only health, in terms of farmers when they were their distress, we have bought their crops, wheat, paddy, ragi, jowar, turdal, I can name on like this. And also we have responded to the elephant-man conflict, cheetah-man conflict. For the first time, a serious effort has been started, and I have given almost more than 100 crores for that, and we have made a special task force team with technology and other supports, and the progress is really great. And the next one is, we are also responsible as far as ecology is concerned.
Sure.
My budget was the first budget in the country to provide green budget, that is, to calculate the ecological deficit of the year and try to make good by making eco-budgeting. And this concept has to be expanded further. It has been just in a starting point. But a serious concern has been taken up as a responsibility to make good the ecologist losses in the very next year. Otherwise, the deterioration is so much, probably a day will come where there will be irreparable loss.
Sure.
So, we have been really across the board, Sarvayapti Sarvasparshi government. So, the growth story should continue. Therefore, to continue the growth story, which is which is something more than inclusive. Inclusive is a small word.
Sure.
Something which is inclusive to everybody and exclusive to animals, to nature.
Okay. So, sir, you have said, you have outlined all the measures you have taken, and you're right, the FDI that came last year, almost 40% of that FDI came to Karnataka, which is a phenomenal achievement. But politically, let me ask you a couple of things. From 2004, 2008, 2018, all these elections, BJP was the single largest party, but was not able to get majority on its own. Today also, the opposition parties are saying that BJP will not be able to form majority on its own. They're all playing for the hung assembly game. What would you say to that? Congress is already promising, what, 200 units of free power and 2,000 rupees to all the ladies. How would you counter that?
There are two parts in this question.
Sure.
The first one is about BJP and BJP growth. Right from 2004, the BJP was on the growth path. It was a growing curve. And every election it has bettered. from 2004 to 2008, and of course after the split we went down, then we came back. So every time we have grown. Yes, of course, we have not been able to reach the magic figure, but we are very close to that. That means that BJP is able to cover the political landscape every time with every aspect, including social aspect. And the whole strength is our growth, BJP growth story. In any adverse conditions also, we have been growing. And people of the state now has realized that they have to give a decisive mandate. Always a hung mandate has related in a totally a chaos situation, both politically and administratively and development. And I am sure that looking into the track record of two major national parties and one regional party, which are the main players here, I am sure that people will decisively vote for BJP this time, and the growth story will continue.
The first part...
And let me come.
Sure.
And I am one person, nothing very personal about it, but just a approach. There are two ways of playing a game. One way is play not to lose.
Okay.
The other way is play to win. And I believe in the second one, play to win, and we are going to win it.
So the first part that I asked about 200 units of free power and 2,000 rupees to all the ladies of the household. Now everyone in your party from Prime Minister downwards is called this Revdies, or you're giving some freebies. But it seems to work well, particularly in South India.
See, look here. Helping the people who really needs is one thing. Just to gain some political vote bank without any thought process to it, 100% giveaway. This people will not accept it. See, people, however poor he is, he just wants a small help for whatever he is doing. So I believe in strengthening the people who are the bottom of the pyramid, and these are the people who are movers and shakers of economy. So we have to strengthen the people who are toiling and giving them such a programs where back home they should feel proud about themselves.
Okay.
In their job, in their opportunities, and give them, make their life very easy. So there are so many ways of doing things. Giving their children good education, giving them affordable, very good health services. This will take away a lot of miseries of a working man. And the giveaway, once again, there is no accountability in it. And giveaway, I don't know, sometimes it creates a lot of domestic issues also.
Sure.
So we believe whatever expenditure they call in social sector, we want to convert it into an investment, into a social structure, in human development. And this investment will also ultimately lead the growth story of a state and a nation. And people of Karnataka, as I know, they are very, very proud of their esteem, Swabhimani. And this Swabhimani Karnataka Kannadigas will not really, it's just a promise.
Okay.
And the track record of people who promised is very well known to the people. So they don't buy it,
Okay.
and they can't be fooled all the time. They have been fooled earlier, and there is a saying that we can't fool all the people all the time, and that's going to happen.
Okay, you can't fool the voter in Karnataka. They're a very smart electorate. But tell me, sir, the principal fight you would imagine in a state like Karnataka is between BJP and Congress. But you look at the newspapers, you look at the media coverage, particularly in the last few days, it seems like the war of words is happening between your party and the JDS. Why are you so worried about a party that may end up getting, by your own account, only 25 or 30 seats?
I am not seeing any war. I don't know what war you are
Sir, it
saying.
started from when Mr. Amit Shah was here in Belgaum a few weeks ago. Then you're
No,
aware
that
of
is-
what is happening between Mr. Prahlad Joshi and Mr. Kumar Swamy. You've also responded to that.
No, I responded for the personal attack of Kumarasamy on
Yes.
Joshi. I never responded for the any other
Political.
things. As far as Amit Shah's statement is concerned, it is once again what I have said, that we need a decisive mandate, and we believe that this JDS party should not be given opportunity to play around. So we are asking, and there was a rumor which was spread up by my Congress friends that JDS and BJP together. In fact, they have been last time they fought like cat and dogs, and then they joined together.
Yes.
So they can change colors like any time, but they only comment on others.
So I'm asking you.
So because of that, our clear-cut political stand, we have expressed that. But for that, I don't think there is any war is required for few personal comments.
So no. So I'm asking you a direct question. So are you worried that there could be the possibility if JDS ends up with 25 or 30 seats, they could tie up again just like they did in 2018?
You have got a very correct question, but you are asking to a wrong person. It is in fact, Congress is more worried about JDS growth.
Getting 25 or 30 seats. Will BJP and JDS tie up if the situation so arises? Will BJP and JDS tie up if the situation so
No, we
arises?
are very clear. There is no question of type.
No question of tying up with.
No.
So either BJP wins on its own full majority, or you are prepared to sit in opposition.
We are going to win.
Okay.
There is no ifs and buts.
No ifs and buts. BJP will win.
Yeah.
Let me put you in a slightly more. I wouldn't say difficult, but so in 2018, BJP ended up with 104, right? And then eventually, of course, the opposition is alleging that you did quote unquote Operation Kamala. What is your figure for 2023?
2023, we are going to cross 130.
130. 130 seats. Chief Minister has said this in a public platform. We'll call him back after the election.
Certainly.
And you will come. You will oblige us with
I'll
the
be waiting for your call.
Okay. And I'm seeking this promise that just like you're giving us the first interview today, you will give us the first interview then as well, post the election. Okay. Let me now come to some of the other decisions. You had taken a decision a few months ago about giving reservation for Vokaligas and Lingayats. That has been now stayed by the Karnataka High Court. What is your plan to deal with that issue? Because it seems like on the issue of reservation, there is a powerful Panchamshali Lingayats also who are upset that they were not getting a particular category. What is your move to politically counter that?
But see, let me tell you, the matter is in the court, so I can't really give the details to it, but I believe that all the communities, the aspiration level has increased. Since all the communities' aspiration to be educated, to be employed, to be self-esteemed has increased, the community feels that they require more reservation. That's how it is not only Virishava Lingayats, all other communities are aspiring for it. But we have to go by the constitution and legal framework. So what we have just done is that in the given framework only, instead of making more number of classifications and giving less opportunity to the more this thing, so we want to classify them in few classifications and rearrange the whole thing so that any aspiration young boy and girl, whichever class he belongs, we have got 32% backward class, he should get that opportunity. That is a basic thing. The social justice can be given by giving constitutionally rightful opportunities. And that's what we are trying to do. And there is a mandate that every 10 years this has to be reviewed. For the last 20 years it has been not reviewed. So we have started reviewing it. And of course it will be in the framework of Constitution and the different judgments which have been delivered on this subject.
Sir, but don't you think that because the Lingayats are so politically influential, they are 15-16% of the population, BJP has traditionally been the party of choice for them, that this issue has happened 6 months before the elections or in the run-up to elections, you don't think that politically that would hurt you?
See, as far as Lingayats are concerned, they are most matured politically. So they know, see, they have seen a lot of governments.
Yes.
And they have seen the contemporary leadership also. They know that who stands for whom, irrespective of reservation, non-reservation, everything. Some people are making it a cause, and that has been highlighted in the media. But for that, the ground reality is, they know that who stands for their welfare, who doesn't stand. And there is a long-standing history for it. And youngsters are much more aware that who speaks what, and who has done when they were in power, when not in power, and who tried to split the Lingayat community, and who tried to save the Lingayat community. So all these are multiple issues regarding most of the communities, not only just Lingayat communities.
Sure.
It is not just one factor is going to decide. However, we tried to be very honest about the whole situation, including reservation. And we are getting the whole thing cleared in the court. Once that is done, we will give justice.
So the other issue, I asked this the last time we spoke as well, the other issue is this almost permanent stain or allegation that your government faces from the opposition that it's a 40% commission sarkar. Now you have denied all of this, you have said none of this has been proven in a court of law. But in public perception, what will you say to this?
How do you gauge a public perception?
Because that's what the opposition is saying, that this
No,
is
no,
what
opposition, not public perception.
they are citing in.
You expect opposition to sing a love song to me?
No, no. I am asking you, how will you counter the allegation?
See, I'll tell you, it's very simple. Whatever the percentage they speak, let them come out with a case, let them get inquired, and they can put us in dock. In democracy, they have got all the right to say. None of the, till today, not even a single case they are made out. Even the association which tried to do this, they could not, and one of my minister put a case, defamation case in the court, and they could not come out with anything. So they were forced to appear before the court. They are running away from the court. It's all political. And as far as corruption is concerned, not only in this state, entire country, the opposition which is in Karnataka Congress, coincidentally, Congress starts from C, corruption also starts from C. So, Congress, corruption is part of the Congress culture. And a lot of people experience it, not just me. Even press people also know a lot of things, but they could not say it, that's all. So, the very ingredient of Congress is corruption. And it can't be bifurcated. See, anything which mix in water, it can be bifurcated. But here it becomes a part of it. It has become a part of it. And they are making this noise. And now, a lot of cases have been booked in Lokayukta, which they had closed. One good thing what has happened is, they had closed the Lokayukta, which was one of the important institutions to prevent corruption. Earlier, Ramakrishna Hegde started this. He had given full powers, then he withdrew it. But during our time in last year, 2009 and 10, we gave them powers under Prevention of Corruption Act, and we gave them the status of police station. Earlier, the Lokaयुcta is to file complaint in the general police station and they have to book a case. We gave the power to Lokaयुcta to book a case. And after that, when Congress came to power, they closed it. They brought ACB and courts decided it. And a lot of people from the other side was telling, look here, don't start Lokaयुcta once again. You and government, you people will be in problem and all that. We have very consciously done this. I said nothing doing. I'm not going to appeal, I'm going to strengthen it and we have strengthened it. Secondly,
Okay.
why they closed, that was interesting. More than 60 cases, complaints were there, they transferred to ACB. And every complaint, even with documented complaint, with documents, was given B report. So this is the track record. And now we have given us opportunity through institution of Lokaयुcta, they can go to Lokaयुcta, file a case where a sitting Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice is there, and let them do the inquiry. We are open for it.
Okay. Sir, in your government, there have been many who have come from...
Therefore,
okay.
the real public perception is it has not stuck.
Okay. Sure. So, in your government, there are many who have come from Congress and JDS. Many of them have been made ministers as well. Has that upset some of your long-time BJP loyalists within the party? Today I was reading there's some candidate in KR Puram who's being placated. They are citing instances of two members who left your BJP party and joined Congress and won by-elections last couple of years.
You see, during election time, political tourism will be there.
Political tourism.
So let us not give credence to that. But one thing I'll tell you that ours is as I said earlier, ours is a growing party, and we grow by accommodating. We grow by going together, and there is not even a single issue from the people who have come, and including our own old friends. So we know that together only we can win, and that is our forte.
So talking about your old friends, people are asking what is going to be the role of the veteran B.S. Yediyurappa in the upcoming elections in Karnataka. Today I'm quoting what Siddaramaiah said in a campaign rally in Gulbarga. He said that BJP has done grave injustice to Yediyurappa and that Mr. Bommai's government wantedly did not expand its cabinet because if they had to then include Raghavendra as minister. How will you respond to him?
See, I'll tell you, Mr. Siddaramaiah, I think he should better look after his party. And I want Parmeshwar to answer this question. What was injustice done to Mr. Parmeshwar? And what was injustice done to Kharge? None other than the AICC president during parliamentary election. What was injustice done by whom? And how different situations were created, and how the political cocktail was really brewing. So, lot of questions he has to answer himself. And as far as Yediyurappa ji is concerned, he need not worry about Yediyurappa. What happened during 2013 is, because Yediyurappa came out of BJP, thanks to Yediyurappa, Siddaramaiah became Chief Minister.
Thanks to Yediyurappa, Siddaramaiah became Chief Minister.
I had told in assembly that you should have a photograph of Yediyurappa in your office. But for the split in the vote, you would have never become Chief Minister. Yediyurappa is a very, very veteran, strong loyalist, Sangha man, and he has himself volunteered to come out. He said, party has been grateful. After 75, they allowed me up to 78 to become Chief Minister. Now my whole purpose of my political, he said, I'll never retire from politics. My whole aim is to bring back BJP strongly back in Karnataka. So he's doing that very sincerely, and he has been attending all public meetings, party meetings regularly. So there's no question of, and as I said on the first day I took Chief Minister, I have a blessing of Yadurappa, and I will continue a lot of his policies, and I've been doing it. So there is no, Yadurappa is our tallest leader, that person is there, and his blessing is there to entire BJP.
Okay. Sir, last time when we spoke, there was a lot of chatter about hijab and halal and rising communal incidents in Dakshin Kannada and so on. Has that narrative changed? What has your government done to
You
change
should say that
narrative?
now.
No, you tell me.
You should say that now, because last time your question had a high octane voice. Now it has come down.
Oh, my voice has come down.
That means that those are non-issues now.
They are non-issues. What do you make of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra? He seems to have garnered a lot of crowds, particularly in Karnataka. He spent a good 15 days here. A lot of crowds came, but will that translate to votes?
See, I don't want to be very critical about Bharat Jodo Yatra. See, in this country, any man who walks, gets attention, gets support. But what purpose ultimately, that matters much more as a result. One thing, as I have watched the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I feel that Rahul Gandhi has walked all these so many kilometers just to increase his own confidence within himself. Second thing is, he wants a changeover image. He himself has said in Kashmir, I am not the same Rahul Gandhi what you are thinking. So he wanted a changeover, and he has taken a really hard path, and he has travelled. But as far as the traction is concerned, I don't think it has not made any political impact in any of the states. Okay. And you be in the national capital, by this time you would have gone halla-gulla on that. No halla-gulla.
Today in Parliament also, there has been almost a personal attack that Rahul Gandhi has made against the Prime Minister. Do you think that these personal attacks work in politics?
I don't know personal attacks, but as far as personal attacks on Narendra Modi has always strengthened him. He has been growing as he has been attacked. From Maut Ki Sauda to so many names people have called him. Every time he has come back in a big way, and he has grown, and same thing is going to happen.
But is BJP overly banking on Prime Minister and his image to win state elections like we saw in Gujarat recently? In Karnataka also, the perception seems to be that Modi will deliver that extra 10 to 15%.
See, I'll tell you, why not? We have a Prime Minister. We have a Prime Minister who is accepted by the entire people of Karnataka and as well as the country. And we have got a Prime Minister who leads from front in every aspect, right from the domestic to the international. And we have got a Prime Minister who is been very, very forward-looking, visionary, and that is going to help Karnataka. And we are going in the path as far as policy making, both center and state, as a double engine government, and our performances have added to that. So if everything is in tune and it has been led by Prime Minister, why not?
So like you said, Karnataka was the largest recipient of foreign direct investment last year. It bagged almost 40% of the 80 billion that came in. And yet, last season, 3 days of monsoon rain and the IT corridor came down to its knees. What will you tell those IT companies?
You asked
and
a very
IT
good question to me. I know that you love Bangalore. That's why I asked this question. There are rains in Chennai. Entire Chennai gets drowned. Right? That so-called canal, what is that?
Buckingham Canal.
entire Chennai gets drowned. Bombay at least, few drops, it gets drowned. You take any growing city, because of the growth, it has created small hitches as far as roads are concerned, drains are concerned, and the heavy load on them. So there was a rain unprecedented in a short time, 50 years, highest rain in 24 hours. And naturally, Bangalore is a city of lakes, so lakes were overflowing, so they had to overflow. City has grown around the lakes. And as far as IT thing is concerned, it is in down south there, and up north all water goes there. And most of the IT people have hired the buildings, and these building owners, they have taken panchayat permissions, which now Panchayat has joined to BBMP. Otherwise, they had a panchayat permission and built huge buildings without any proper drainage systems. So all of a sudden it has happened, and we have got 18 constituencies in Bangalore, and only 2 constituencies there was problem for 2 days. But I don't know, people love Bangalore so much that even a small inconvenience, they create a big halal, especially the national media loves Bangalore more. Anything in Bangalore, they like it. Whereas a lot of things will be happening elsewhere, and probably you will be too busy to just overlook them. But this doesn't take away my responsibility.
Sure.
On a serious note, we have now, first of all, we responded, we put out teams, we cleared it within 2 days. People are back in action, people are going to offices. One of my friend came from Delhi, and his wife called. अरे पूरा बेंगलुरु ड्राउन हो गया, आप कहाँ हैं, कैसे है? He said, अरे यार मैं तो आराम से हूँ, मैं रास्ते में घूम रहा हूँ, और 2 ऑफिस जाके आया, 2 काम हो गया है, तीसरा जा रहा हूँ कि यहाँ फ्लड ही नहीं है, आप क्या बात करते हो? This is the answer.
Okay. So
but on the serious note,
sure.
We have now taken it up. I given more than 2,000 crores, and we are making the drains permanently and removing all the obstacles. And we are now end-to-end approach. We are doing it. And let me tell you, if this project is complete, there will be very little flooding in Bangalore.
Okay. I'll ask one final question and then we'll open it up to the audience. You are going to face the people. I think in about 3 to 4 weeks, the model code is going to come into effect. What is your one big idea, one big vision that you're going to tell the people of Bangalore and Karnataka if you get a second term?
I said there is no ifs. But I have to give 2 visions, one for Karnataka and one for Bangalore. Karnataka is, I want to tell people of Karnataka that we have put both economy and governance on track, and the growth story should continue, and you will be one of the important factor on 2 counts. One is to continue the growth, you will be important factor, and second, you will be inclusive in that growth. So let's all of us together bring back BJP for Nava Karnataka. Through Nava Karnataka, we will build Nava Bharat.
Okay. All right. My colleague Harish is there, with the mic. Audience questions. We'll just open it up for a couple of questions because Sir has to leave for another engagement. So if somebody can pass the mic to Harish.
Hi, sir. Ever since coming to power in 2019, the BJP has been talking about corruption during Congress's regime, during Siddaramaya's regime. But one thing that we've noticed is we haven't seen any case going forward reaching a stage where people who indulge in corruption have been arrested. It leads to a perception where people are saying, idala adjustment politics, or yurna bit kodala, yurna bit kodala. How does the government counter this now, especially when you're going to people?
I think I have answered this because the entire 5-6 years was under ACB, so nothing was moving. Now Lokact has come in last 3-4 months. You just see next 3-4 months what will be the results of all the complaints which have been filed in Lokact.
Okay, so we'll have a lot of reporting happening from Parappanagrahara then.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, Ritu has the mic. I think the gentleman there at the, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, my question to our Honorable CM is that you are going to the next election, and now the coming budget is there. Karnataka needs for the government schools should be at par with the private schools. Why I am saying is doing 20, 30 schools, just seeing that in a glamorous way in a television or not, unless we put into the education, giving the government schools, our children's at par education with the private schools, that
All
is
right.
the demand for us. Thank you.
Sir.
See, I have given highest budget to education and that will continue, number one. Number two, we are concentrating on infrastructure and on training with teachers and quality education. And this year, we have recruited 15,000 teachers. Next year also the continues. And 8,000 school rooms will be ideal school rooms. And we have given highest smarts classes to all the colleges and PU colleges. And we are doing digitalization of education. Therefore, 100% there will be a big competition to private institutions by government schools.
I think the gentleman there has a question, yeah.
My name is P.S. Arun.
I think you'll have to switch off the mic or somebody will have to give him another mic. All right, in the meanwhile, I'll take a question from the gentleman here till.
Honorable Chief Ministers, we are very fortunate that I think the people have been not acknowledging that Karnataka is the second highest GST tax collections, second highest in income tax collections. We are really fortunate after more than 30 years, both state and central government moving towards creating opportunities. What our Honorable CM has clearly mentioned. That
What is your question, sir? Let's
Yeah.
get to the question.
So what is that actually like, the vision for Karnataka, what has been stored? We want more opportunities, the next generation wants more opportunities to create jobs. I think what our Honorable CM has stored for next generation.
Okay. What do you have for the next generation?
See, we have to have a twin approach as far as job-oriented growth. One is we have to identify the skills of our youth in different sectors, and there are certain sectors where employment is a very key factor, for example in textiles and other things. So we have to encourage those industries where jobs are produced or given to more youngsters. The second one is all these large industries where they bring in technology and they bring in secondary jobs. So it is a intelligent way of managing both, because we need technology for growth as well as we need job-oriented manufacturing systems. That's how my employment policy is all about. And I'm incentiving, along with the capital incentives what we give, additionally I'm giving incentives for people who give more jobs.
All right, I think the gentleman there in the blue shirt, yeah.
P.S. Arun, a journalist. My question is, two small questions. One is, you have mentioned about the developmental works your government has carried out. The Prime Minister and the Home Minister have come here over the last few months several times and inaugurated several developmental works. When this is the issue, your party president says, don't bother about developmental works, bother only about love jihad. I want your answer to that. Is it not undermining your arguments? Number one. Number two, another question. None of the three parties here in Karnataka have announced chief ministerial candidate. Will your party be announcing a chief ministerial
He is the chief ministerial candidate, isn't he?
chief ministerial candidate for the elections,
I'll answer.
like they did in Gujarat?
I'll answer. See, the first question is, all these issues like love jihad and all has been created, and they have been overblown. So my one single approach for all this thing is that we'll go by rule of law. Second one is, I have not allowed all these issues to affect my development, my growth, my welfare schemes, and my economic growth. It has never been affected. Otherwise, so much of investment, so much of growth, so much of tax collection would not have happened. And I think personally that if there is a very, very small, minuscule section who's doing all this on both the sides. So what I feel is, if the large section of the society really doesn't give the undue importance what it is getting now, then the whole ecosystem, the social ecosystem, will get corrected. It is, everything is in our mind. So what is important for you, that will be caught here. So please catch the right thing, everything will be all right.
And the second question, are you the chief ministerial candidate?
See, as far as, it's very simple. They have said that we will go to the election under the leadership of the chief minister. And as far as selecting the chief minister, it is a traditional in our party that parliamentary board will take the ultimate decision.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Basaraj Bommai. Thank you very much for speaking with us. And you've made the promise that if you were to win the election back, you will come and give us the first interview.
It is an equal promise by you also to call me.
For sure. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for Shri Basaraj Bommai?
Thank you to the Honorable Chief Minister and our Managing Editor Zaka Jacob for that very engaging conversation, a conversation that sets the tone and tenor for the electoral process which is due in the state of Karnataka. Well, lots coming up in the next few minutes. We have a power-packed line of sessions for you, interesting conversations from the world of academia, cinema, art, history, much more that you're going to hear on this very stage today. Well, the city of Bengaluru has much to offer, different people, different historians' point of view. This has been a city which has been an amalgamation of multiple cultures, and you'll hear all of those conversations on this very stage today. And as you heard from the Chief Minister himself, the growth story from the state of Karnataka shall be the dominant theme in the days to come. Despite multiple controversies that have been seen or the kind of difficult issues that came up during the administration of the state, the Chief Minister remains committed that the party and the government will continue to make sure that Karnataka becomes the single largest state in terms of attracting more and more investments and fueling the growth story of the state. And yes, Bengaluru is going to have a huge role to play into that story, the growth story for the state of Karnataka. Well, with much pleasure, I introduce to all of you the second session for the CNN-News18 Town Hall here in the city of Bengaluru. History is a story, and stories are often told from the point of view of the victor, rarely from the prism of objectivity or the moral right. The last 8 years have been a cultural awakening of sorts in our country. Old, rigid, unchallenged versions of history and historical figures have been challenged. The newer generation has had the opportunity to read alternative narratives, and these narratives would have remained untold have we not really been able to get exposed to this kind of literature. We'll continue talking about all of these dominant themes. We'll talk more about what more we can be offered in terms of art, cinema, storytelling, and academia. We're just waiting for the Honorable Chief Minister. There's a security protocol in place, so I request you all to please stay with us. In the next 60 seconds, we are going to begin with our next session. Well, the CNN News 18 Town Hall continues to bring you meaningful conversation from different walks of life. And as we told you earlier, not just on television, the BARC ratings are the proof, the evidence, but also on social media, in the new age, in the new digital space. CNN News 18 has been the front runner, creating new paradigms. It has been a leadership position, the dominant position that the brand continues to occupy. The path of meaningful journalism, credible journalism, and more importantly, giving more voice to substantial issues that matter. In the next 30 seconds, we'll start another session, and this session will be a very interesting one, because you'll hear more about the historical narratives, the perspectives, and different controversies around it. We live in today's day and age where history indeed is a contested territory.
CNN News 18, India's #1 news channel, has extended its dominance in viewership. For a second consecutive week, we are bigger than our two nearest competitors, Republic TV and Times Now combined. CNN News 18, sensible, credible, always.
Where unpleasant realities and stinging truths will be addressed directly and bluntly. Where neutrality will not be used as a picnic to go soft on any side. Where a spade will be called a spade every time.
Shun the political correctness. Join Shivani Gupta on Plain Speak at these times on CNN News 18. We bring you the stories that make India tick. Decoding the political landscape. Stories at the crux of our society. The biggest newsmakers and icons. News you can trust. With Maria Shakil, News Epicenter on CNN News 18.
It's about India. It's about standing up to those who talk down to our motherland. Why have two faces? Why play second fiddle in local politics, geostrategy, or public welfare? Time we realize our inherent might. Take the right stand at this time on CNN News 18. News is about stories. Stories that matter to you and to me. With the biggest newsmakers and the most in-depth analysis. We cut through the clutter and get down to the brass tacks.
Brass Tacks on CNN News 18.
In the next few minutes, we'll begin another session, our next session. Ladies and gentlemen, can I request you all to please be seated? If you've grabbed a cup of coffee, please take your coffee and take your seat. We are all set to begin our second session in just a few minutes from now. So a kind request to all of you, please take in your seats. We begin our next session in just a few minutes from now, and I promise this is going to be a very, very interesting one. We're just waiting for all of you to settle down. Can I make a request once again to everyone to please take in their seats? As I said earlier, history is a story, and stories are often told from the point of view of the victor and rarely from the prism of objectivity or the moral right. The last 8 years have been a cultural awakening of sorts in the country. Old, rigid, unchallenged versions of history and historical figures, they have been challenged and defined and redefined in many ways. The newer generation has had the opportunity to read alternative narratives and discourses, stories that remained untold for various reasons. Well, one such name in academia has been the name of Dr. Vikram Sampath. Apart from his other keywords, the way Dr. Sampath narrated the story of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, it has been an eye-opener for anyone who has read through the 2 volumes to understand the origin and layers of the ideology of Hindutva and its key proponent. Today's evening is enriched by the presence of Dr. Sampath. Without wasting any further time, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Dr. Vikram Sampath in conversation with our managing editor, Anand Narasimhan. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
Well, Namaskara, Bengaluru, and conversations about history with a historian and who's also a good friend. I'm looking forward to this. We don't have too much of time, so let's get to it straight away. Dr. Vikram Sampath. The theme for our conversation is history being weaponized in Karnataka? So let's start with somebody who's not from Karnataka, but has been used quite often in Karnataka. And he's from the neighboring state, that is the state of Maharashtra. Somebody on whom you have written such a long commentary that it went into 2 volumes. And that commentary was so good that I have read every single page of both the volumes. So let me ask you this, Dr. Sampath, or if I may call you Vikram. Why do, or is the number of people who love to hate Savarkar far outnumbered by the number of people who know or love Savarkar? Why is it?
Good evening, Anand, and a very good evening to everyone here. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful town hall. I think your question, Savarkar is someone who's such a polarizing figure, someone who I think intrudes contemporary political narratives in a way that very few characters of the past do. Election rallies have him as a subject. Election manifestos, are around the subject of whether the Bharat Ratna will be given to him or not. Rahul Gandhi is all the time defaming him, and then the Prime Minister is going to Port Blair and actually, venerating him. So, in this whole political slugfest that this person has become, unfortunately, I think the legacy somewhere gets mired and contested. Even those who admire him, unfortunately, I don't think have read much of him. He was a voracious writer. He wrote, he was a journalist, he was a playwright, a very sensitive poet, an amateur historian, and his writing runs to thousands and thousands of pages, largely in Marathi, which I think a lot of mainstream historians also did not actually access. And so Savarkar becomes this contested figure who is invoked only for political gains, both by his proponents and opponents, without trying to understand what the man stood for, or what are the actual areas on which even those who oppose him want to oppose him. So I constantly keep saying you can love to love someone or love to hate somebody, but that love or hatred for a person needs to be informed. There is that serious lack of, I think, understanding of the man's legacy itself. The last biography of his too was written only in the 1960s when he was alive by this man called Dhananjay Keer. So after that, very few scholars, historians have actually made any attempts to reevaluate him in the modern context at a time when the ideology that he propounded, which is Hindutva, is in a political ascendant all over the country.
Well, for someone like a Mohan Bhagwatji to say that Dhananjay Keer, Vikram Sampath and Uday Mahurkar are the three people who have tried to understand Savarkar and also comment about him or write about him is a big compliment. And especially with, and history again there says that the song had nothing to do with Savarkar. If you go back to it, Savarkar founded the Hindu Mahasabha. And he actually walked away from the Sangh and said, listen, I don't want to follow what you're doing. But today you see the Sangh trying to, should I say, quote unquote, appropriate Savarkar. Is that what is happening? Or is it trying to say, understand where this man came from, what his vision was, and embrace it because we need it today for Bharat?
I don't think he had nothing to do with the Sangh. It was a different organization, the Hindu Mahasabha, of which he was the president from 1935 to 42 in those very crucial years leading up to India's freedom. But then it was this larger saffron brotherhood. They had differences in the approach to Hindutva itself and what they wanted to make of their political organizations. When Dr. Hedgewar was the Sarsang Chalak, he shared a very good relationship with Savarkar. I think there was a rocky relationship, particularly when M.S. Golwalkar became the Sarsang Chalak. And Savarkar is infamously, he's supposed to have said once that if at all there is an epitaph of the achievements of a Swayam Sevak of the RSS that is put on his tomb, there would be only 3 lines. He was born, he joined the RSS, he died. There's no other achievement that a Swayam Sevak could ever have. So there was this kind of rancor that was there, but finally they would close ranks, amongst themselves, because they were overall, I think, working towards a common goal, which was, that of Hindutva and so on. The shades were different, their methodology may be different, but to say that, they were completely chalk and cheese and someone is appropriating them, I don't think that would be fair.
But do you believe that, why is it so easy to polarize using Savarkar? After Savarkar, I'll come to the next person. So final question on Savarkar and then we'll move on because we've got 3-4 different people to talk about from the annals of history. Why is it so easy? His definition of Hindu should be acceptable to everybody who's a Hindustani or from Hindustan. Technically, in that essay that he wrote, he defined it very clearly. So Savarkar was somebody who said, I don't care what your caste is, I don't care what your personal faith is. He himself ate beef. So he didn't he didn't have a problem with somebody eating beef. Yeah. Or what you consume is not. What you think your national identity is, that's what his political definition of Hindu was. Why is that so difficult to accept? Or was it the effort to try and ensure that Savarkar was violent, Gandhi was not? Savarkar was bad, Gandhi was not. So was this the binary that was created?
I think, Anand, that's a more recent phenomenon because the Congress party, which today spews a lot of venom on Savarkar, one of their tallest leaders, the former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, on Savarkar's death in 1966, had a very, very glowing, tribute to him. That his name was a very byword for patriotism, courage, and sacrifice, and that it's a very unique role in the annals of the freedom struggle. Okay, one could think that this was, in courtesy, a very nice homily given to someone who's departed. But then she also followed it up with a lot of personal initiatives like bringing out a stamp in his honor, giving her personal money of some 11,000 or something for a memorial in his name in Mumbai. She also got the government of India to get a documentary made for this man. So here was a person who founded India's first ever organized secret society, who was a kind of an inspiration for revolutionaries, not only of his time, but also much later, including Rash Bihari Bose and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who gave us this whole sense of 1857 being the first war of Indian independence and not just a Sepoy mutiny. So, and suffered 14 long years in the dreaded, Kala Pani cellular jail in the Andamans. So I think stateswomen like Indira Gandhi understood that this was one who's even now, I think, deeply revered in Maharashtra. And to give him the due was what was done then. But then I think the main change, according to me, was more political rather than historical, which is once the Vajpayee government came in and, you had his photo in the Central Hall of Parliament and also a plaque in his honor at the cellular jail, which after the UPA came to power, I think they displaced, and Mr. Manishankar Iyer had a lot of invectives hurled on Savarkar. Somehow, I think the generosity towards the founding icon of Hindutva, which an Indira Gandhi could manage to give, later it became difficult because during her time, Hindutva was not a force to reckon with. It was not a political threat. But now it had occupied center stage, it had displaced the Congress government. So constantly this jibe that what have your, what we hear even in parliament, including Mr. Kharge, who I think told the Prime Minister in the parliament that even your dogs did not fight for the freedom movement and so on. So this whole appropriation that we are the only custodians of the freedom movement and thereby, the rightful heirs to the throne of India, and anybody else who comes outside that rubric is anti-national, is a stooge of the British, is a traitor, and all these terms. And somehow people in the opposition to this government in the center think that by targeting Savarkar, whom they assume is the ideological ancestor of the current central government, by attacking him, they are somehow attacking the government, which I think is unfortunate because in the process, you do a lot of injustice to a martyr, to a patriot, to a freedom fighter who and his entire family have contributed so much and sacrificed so much for the cause of freedom.
No, but do you see the distortion? You're today saying that Hindutva is a political threat. How can being a Hindu or Hindu-ness become a political threat? So is that how distorted our lexicon has become, and that's very convenient. It's ye Hindutva wale hain, inke piche lag jao. That's what we are hearing on the streets of Karnataka also.
No, I meant political parties which espouse the cause of Hindutva. I think during Indira Gandhi's time, Srimati Gandhi's time, it was the Jan Sangh, which was hardly, even in 1984, the BJP had 2 seats. They were not a political threat that way. The Indian or Hindu right wing was not a threat to the Congress. From panchayats to parliament, they were the supreme masters. So you could afford to be generous to their tallest icons. But then once they become a threat to you, then to discredit the current dispensation, all you need to do is discredit their, as I said, ideological ancestor and bring out all these things. Now, wasn't Srimati Gandhi, didn't she know while she was doing all that she did in praise of him, that as is alleged today, that he was a British stooge, he was a coward, he gave the title of Veer to himself, all these nonsensical things that keep getting hurled now in really, pedestrian kind of discourse, that he was an Islamophobe, that he had a hand in Gandhi's murder. If she knew all this, why would she get a stamp in his honor? I think she was very astute, she was very, very sensible, and as I said, a stateswoman. So I think these are all modern constructs, and then history, unfortunately, the title of this session is, does it get weaponized? So for political considerations, obviously history and historical characters then get highly weaponized and in the process, I think the fall guy or the casualty is the discipline itself, and that's very unfortunate.
There is an entire gramam in Karnataka, this entire region of Milkot, which still does not celebrate Deepavali nearly 400-500 years later. How is this lost on every other citizen of Karnataka and every other politician of Karnataka who want to celebrate Tipu Sultan?
It's not lost on the people. So when I think the very perverse attempt to do this Tipu Jayanti, which was started by the previous Congress government, the protests that were there in different parts of the state, of course, some were politically motivated. They came from the Sangh Parivar and the BJP, but then a lot of Catholics, Christians, and other communities, the Kodavas, they went up in arms against this, saying we do not want to commemorate someone who was a butcher of our ancestors. Which is why to this day, after so many 2 centuries, the people there do not celebrate, the Mande Mayangas do not celebrate Diwali, and it's observed as a day of mourning while the rest of the country is celebrating. And so that's a very living history. So also the Kodavas, I mean, even now the kind of hatred that is evoked for him, 60,000 and over that, Syrian Christians and Catholics who from Mangalore were ruthlessly chained and dragged, on the streets all the way up to Srirangapatna. Many of them died on the way, and they were forced to convert to Islam. So whether all these communities, so the social report card of a ruler, I think is very important when you're assessing the legacy of the person. And I have no problem, Anand, if a group of people, citizens, they form a Tipu fan club or something else, and they celebrate, commemorate his birthday or death day or whatever. It's everybody's democratic right. Even a party like the Congress party can celebrate Tipu Jayanti if they want in their political capacity. But when you give it the authority of the state of Karnataka and on taxpayers' money, you're actually doing it when large sections of your own state communities have living memories, living histories of the atrocities committed. I think that is, stretching the whole appeasement business to the limits.
But it is still being done. Why is it that it's lost on the political disposition, irrespective of which political party? A lot of these netas represent these regions, represent the regions where Tipu plundered, where ancestrally or even so many centuries down the line, people still remember, they've not forgotten. So is it lost on them or do they not care? That's one. The other part is this threading or shredding is happening within the Hindu history. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have HDK now talking about Peshwa Brahmins, Peshwas and also Marathi Brahmins. So these kind of comments, why? So just to try and say, all right, with Belagavi, there is a historical issue between Maharashtra and Karnataka. So let's try and fuel it a little further that you cannot, trust somebody who has roots are, and he said it with Mr. Prahlad Joshi. How does that make it relevant today? Why do this?
I think history becomes the tool.
So because Peshwas fought Tipu, so that's why.
Sorry?
The Peshwas,
or Peshwas or Tipu or Savarkar or anything, when a politician of any hue wants to divert the attention of the people, they bring up all these unnecessary emotive issues, which ideally should be left to historians, to academics and scholars to sit and debate amongst ourselves. It need not become a matter of political discourse in an election rally. I think that just shows the complete intellectual bankruptcy of all the political parties. So much of valuable time in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, was spent on what do you have to name the new airport, after whom it needs to be named, whether it was Kempegowda or Tipu Sultan, because Tipu was born in Devanhalli. But I think for the common Bengalurians, that is of the last of their concerns. We would want a high-speed metro network to go into the airport terminal. And after 2008, the new airport came, and still for large, sections of Bengalurians, it takes us about 2.5 hours to reach that beautiful airport. So I think that is more, get us there. So you can name it after Timbuktu for all we care, but then, give us what we want, which is, but then when those things fail, to completely divert the attention of people and engage them in all these emotive issues. Political parties of all hues, I think, engage. And when they do that, be rest assured that they don't have a positive agenda to play
But
on.
you have to also say, it's also a reflection, isn't it also a reflection of us as a people? Politicians are very astute about what will work on ground. You can say whatever it is, they will pick what will work. So if weaponizing history is what is going to work with the people, then is that also not a reflection of us as a society in Karnataka? How many parents are actually turning around and telling their children why it is Kempagowda? Who is Kempagowda? How many people have actually told their children who is Basavaraj? Where is this Milkote? Who are Mandya Brahmins? What's the history of who's Rani Abbaka? So they've all loved the 15 minutes of Kantara. But how many of them know there is a reference to Rani Abbaka there? No, I'm seriously asking. So is that not a reflection of us?
No, very true. And, even there, the only, thing that we do, even when these textbooks get changed, I think recently there was this whole controversy that, textbooks got changed in Karnataka. And you had that very, very hilarious thing. It was said that it was done as a poetic metaphor. But then, Savarkar sat on bulbul birds' feathers and kept flying out of the jail and things like this. So I don't know. I mean, who changes these textbooks? Who are the people who are put in charge of this? Are you, replacing one set of loony narratives with another set of loony narratives? I think that is something that you're right, that as long as these matters of our history, of our past, and the history as a very important mirror as to who we are, our identity as a nation, as a civilization, and as a people, if that doesn't become important to us, the common people of India or of Karnataka, and we can't lobby enough to all the governments of whatever party and hues, that this is a very important subject and you need to make sensible scientific changes to this and retell it in a more sensible manner and not this hilarious way, governments will keep doing all this. So it is finally the people's, I think, onus is on them. I'd just like to, you asked about this whole Marathi Brahmin thing. I think that was completely ahistorical, whatever was said, that the Marathas actually plundered the Sringeri Mutt in 1791, which is ahistorical because it was not the Maratha army which did it, it was the Pindaris, the irregulars in the army. That way Tipu also had a lot of irregulars in his army, which after the main army would leave, you would have a lot of these irregulars who would go and loot, and that was their only source of income. But the difference is, while Tipu made it his matter of policy, in his letters, on his very sword, what was written, that the duty is to subjugate the kafir and the religion of the infidels. The Marathas did not have any such goal or long-term view that we have to go and plunder Sringeri. In fact, when the Peshwa and also the Patwardhans, who heard about the plunder of Sringeri and that the Shankaracharya had sat on a fast, they actually sent a lot of apology letters to him. They sought his forgiveness. They also gave back whatever was plundered by people who were associated with them in an irregular manner, and it was not part of their state policy. So there's so much of nuance in historical narratives, but then on an election rally in North Karnataka or in Bombay, Karnataka, where the Marathi speakers are in large numbers, to polarize them on all these emotive issues, I think that's what I said earlier. That shows the depths and the nadir of political bankruptcy, intellectual bankruptcy.
Well, we're going to stop it there. Pause there with the promise that we'll continue this conversation very, very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Vikram Sampath, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, Dr. Sampath and Anand, for that very engaging conversation, that conversation about history, historical figures, and is history being weaponized in today's day and age? And a conversation that indeed has relevance today as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have amongst us Kichha Sudeep. Can we have a huge round of applause for our guest who's with us today evening?
Well, he's a talented superstar who was one of the first artists to break the barriers between the North and the South. And I'm talking about the barriers of art and cinema. With a career spanning over 25 years and multiple blockbusters to his credit, actor Kichha Sudeep has delivered splendid performances across genres. He's also served as a director, producer in many films that have earned public love and critics' approval. Well, if you love the hero in the movie and end up hating the villain, the artist is successful in evoking the right emotion. Kichha Sudeep has made us love him immensely and also loathe him when he wants to. It's been a year of dominance of Southern cinema. Will the dream run continue? Let's have a look at this clip encapsulating the work, journey, and the art that Kichha Sudeep has brought for all.
He is the quintessential Kannada superstar. In his 27 years in the film industry, Kichha Sudeep has donned multiple hats. As an actor, writer, singer, producer, and director. Sudeep studied mechanical engineering and was a university-level cricketer.
This is the next level show, you got a big flow.
But his love for movies took life in a different direction. He shot to fame with his lead role in Kichha. And there was no looking back after that. He also dared to cross boundaries and try different language cinema long before it became fashionable, getting fans in Tamil and Telugu industries as well. And after his role as the antagonist in Salman Khan's Dabangg 3, Kichha Sudeep sealed his place in Bollywood too. The phenomenal success of Vikrant Rona goes to show that Kichha Sudeep is the one to beat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the multi-talented Kichha Sudeep on the stage, and my colleague Harish will lead this conversation.
Well, it's been a path-breaking year for Kannada cinema. We have KGF 2, we have Vikrant Rona, and we've also had Kantara breaking box office records. And also remember, Vikrant Rona and Kantara also made it to the reminders list of the Oscars. Many say it's perhaps the golden period for Kannada cinema and South cinema at large. But the question is, can cinema from South continue to dominate Indian cinema? We'll debate this, we'll talk to Sudeep about it. But Mr. Kichha, first of all, congratulations for completing 27 years in the industry.
Thank you, sir.
One question that perhaps we'll have to ask here is, when you look at the journey, you started off, many called you iron leg, as you mentioned in some of your interviews. Many said unlucky. They said if you have Sudeep, then the movie will tank. And cut 27 years later, you enjoy this massive love and affection from your fans from across India, and also Abhinaya Chakravarti, and now one of your movie going to the reminders list of the Oscars. How do you look at this journey?
It's been simple, and it's been nice, I guess. Iron leg and everything, I guess it's a part and parcel of how you are being termed. And in a perspective manner, if you look at iron is quite strong, right? I think they were right. I was quite iron-legged. So I have a good foundation today.
How does it feel when some of the same producers now come to you for a call sheet?
Come on, I think it's okay. You choose a line of public, you want to be in the public place, you want to be a public figure, don't expect not to be stoned. Do not expect everybody to come and garland you and love you all the time. But I think eventually it's your work that's going to give no options for people. Work like that, it's okay. If, you can't really say and be so vindictful and saying that, okay, these are the same people who spoke bad or humiliated, and now they're all back. I think it's making them come back, making them come to you. That's what life is all about, I guess. You make them come to you. Work in a way, make them come back to you. I think that's what I look at than remembering people for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Wonderfully put. Mr. Kichha, one thing that stands out in the 27 years journey is that perhaps very early on in your career, probably somewhere around 2008,
somewhere and introduce myself. My work was speaking, and exactly I don't know which films they would see and call me. I really don't know. But then I guess when you concentrate on every film, keep every film you're working on close to you, it'll work. And I was lucky. I was called. I was given and I was showered love and a lot of respect from the other fraternities. See, one prime factor when we go to another industry, what we look upon is there are actors there. There is no scarcity. You know, you go to any fraternity, there are actors, there are directors, producers. But then if they feel that there's enough little space for you to come from somewhere else and fill in that, I guess that's a big high. It's not about what bigger plot you have there. It's about that little space you could still crave out for yourself. I was called, and then when I go back to those industries and look upon that from the bird's view, such wonderful talents, and yet I was called, so that gave me the bigger high. And yeah, the journey went, wherever I went, I came back, because this is where I belong, and this is where I'm going to operate from all the time.
do you believe now this has made it easier for the younger lot that's coming in to act in multiple languages?
No, sir, I think it's equally difficult for everyone. Just because we came back and we are working there, we can't really think that, we made a kind of a foundation for all. I guess everybody has to make their own mark, even whatever it is. Because when we came to the films, iconic legends, the biggest of the actors were still alive doing their roles, and we had no idea where we fit in. I had no idea. When I used to look at the films and I used to say, okay, Mr. Rajkumar is still there, Vishnu sir, everybody are still working, where do we fit in? And then heartthrobs like, Mr. Shivakumar or Mr. Upendra. So, but I guess it's about how badly you want it, not just what you wanted.
Yeah.
So I guess, it just worked for us.
Sorry for cutting you short. That's what I wanted to ask. You had some of these heroes from South, whether it's from Tamil or Kannada industry, who had done movies in Hindi but didn't really go much after perhaps one or two movies. Was this always on your mind, saying that, okay, I'm trying something that has already been tried but didn't work? Or was it planned at all?
No, it's a individuality, it's a personality, I guess, and I wanted to try. It's not that I worked because of insecurity or because I was too secured. Nothing of that sort. I just wanted to try. To go and try. And when I was trying, I was giving it my 100%. There was nothing of a thought that, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
So the work is coming, I think you should just accept and go.
But in 2008, you were already an established star here. There was a certain stereotype or a certain image.
Yeah.
You had a lot to lose.
That's okay. See, again, I tell you, it's a perspective. Do you want to be really stuck to it? Okay, I already have something here. I'm already established. You just want to have one foundation and just keep constructing a building on that, or do you really think you want to progress somewhere else? Find something else new to yourself. So find a bigger reason, a newer reason for you to wake up in the morning every day with more enthusiasm. What do you exactly want? It's about you. So as a person, I wanted something new. I wanted to get out. I wanted to try something new. It was already here. We had already done. Again, it's a new film, another feather in the cap. That's about it. No, is that what cinema is to me? No. For me, I wanted to travel. That's how even I tried as a producer, writer, director. Unless and until you try, I don't think you can really know what you're capable of, right?
In a certain way, very inspirational as well. Now, during the same period, and also perhaps a few years after that, look at the kind of headlines or talk that was in Kannada cinema. They would say, Kannada cinema is not getting enough screens in Bangalore. Other language movie screens are filled. Perhaps majority of them are going to other languages. And many said, Kannada market illa. Others said, well, what's the point of releasing a Kannada movie in Tamil Nadu or elsewhere or even abroad? And cut a few years later, over the last, say, 2-3 years, where we stand now, multiple cinemas from Kannada are ending up breaking records at the box office, including yours, making it to the Oscars reminders list. When did it really change? You're almost an insider in the industry now. You've seen over the last 15, 20 years things changing. Where do you think, sir, it changed?
If you go back earlier in the 80s and 70s, Kannada industry to a couple of South industries were really, really doing well. There were a lot of remakes from South going in Hindi, and probably if you realize, like Mr. Jitendra Saab or a lot of Rishi Kapoor, and many people are doing remakes of South. So then came a time when actually, Telugu took over, Tamil went ahead, Hindi was booming. It's just a phase, and it's just a circle. You will pop up again, and just don't think that you are undefeatable right now. You will be defeated one day. But I guess at this moment, it's a fight. When you're popular, please enjoy it. Don't be so modest and say that, no, this is not my time, it's the God's gift. Nature has gifted you something, enjoy it. Now it's our time. That doesn't mean that, see, for example, right now, a film like a Pathan is doing extremely well. They'll bounce back. That doesn't mean we are dominating. It's just a good time that's happening. We are able to capture the attention of audiences across the globe with our contents. So I guess your basic is, just stick to the basics, go to your films, get back to your scripts, go on to your contents, go and deliver. That's all we can do. We really can't say that, gone out there and captured. Our job is to just look out for something new, excite ourselves every morning and just go deliver. Yeah, as you rightfully say, today when we walk around, just visit certain places, I guess, there's a lot of respect, a lot of attention we are getting. We are all enjoying that, but at the same time, it's a kind of a pressure also to a lot of younger people, because the moment you say Kannada, they all want to take it out. They all want to take it pan-India, without even understanding whether it is worth a pan-Indian release. So that can even damage some people personally. You understand? So I guess it's a phase, sir. We should enjoy.
In fact, I'll come to that in a bit. Since you mentioned we are having a good time here, especially the Kannada industry and the South at large. Now you look at the kind of comments that have come in from the Hindi industry. Many are saying, it's just one bad year for Hindi and Bollywood. Don't underwrite us. Others are saying, well, there's a novelty factor in South cinema now. We have good songs, we have great fights, grand sets. It's a novelty factor. People perhaps will get over it in a couple of years. So once again, Hindi will be back in the reckoning. Do you really believe South can sustain this? Cinema from South can sustain this? And what's the formula?
It's a belief. How can I say whether we're going to sustain? A couple of years back, I wouldn't have said we are going to overtake. I think it's just a matter of time. You just believe, just keep going. And if you really want to keep winning, Who's stopping you? But what does it take to win? Do that. Instead of saying, okay, this is a phase, and now they're going to dominate us, we're going to dominate. Actually, nobody's trying to dominate anybody here. We're just trying to do films. And films are doing well. And the industry and the fraternities are getting a name. I think that it just ends there. There's nothing of that sort like, another couple of years, they'll bounce back, we'll bounce back. See, all the years if you take, Hindi films have been releasing all over India. None of us complained. And none of us even gave a line. Nobody from South gave a line that, we're going to dominate back, we're going to bounce back. We were enjoying their films.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We enjoy films, and they're enjoying our films right now. So this debate is actually happening in the third party. None of the cinema people are talking all this. It's only the reviews, or probably when it comes out in papers or in magazines or on the online. Oh, this is happening, that's happening. Hindi is all, everybody's scared, everybody's thing, and South Indians are partying. No, nothing is happening. We're actually back home writing. They're back home writing. Next day morning, we are all with our makeups and doing our films.
Okay. You mentioned the pressure on perhaps new producers when you talk about pan-India movie. There's a larger question on whether the script and the sensibilities matter. That should really decide whether a movie is pan-India or should be released in a certain pocket, or whether the producer needs to look at the market. There's also another issue here, or rather a strange situation for the producers. A cinema like Kantara. Imagine somebody sitting in UP who doesn't even know what is Bhuta Kola is. He enjoys the movie. So how do you decide if you can release this movie? And how do producers deal with this pan-India pressure?
Chinese films started traveling across the globe many years back. I think that is one of the first languages which started traveling, right? How many people knew Chinese? How many people knew the culture? People started connecting, so it used to come in English, they used to dub it in English, so you got to see Bruce Lee's films, you got to see Jackie Chan's films. So actually we are very late, sir. We are talking well within one country right now to see another language. It had, COVID had to hit India for Malayalam to be noticed so much on the OTT and to rule like they were number one on OTT for a time, you know.
Yeah.
So it is, we are looking at our own industries now. So if you go back, do we connect to our Chinese culture? Are we aware of it? Are we aware of a Korean culture? Are we aware of what? But we connect because we want to see something new. New attracts us. So when you say Kantara, it was new. Even those people wouldn't have thought that it will be accepted that way. So they made a Kannada film. All right. So there was nothing, no rocket science behind the thinking. They just made and honestly made the film, and it went. Now, if you're talking about another state, that whether they know our culture, they will learn our culture. It's about how confidently you want to move. If we sitting in India can accept a Korean and Chinese culture, we are talking about an Indian culture here, so in a different language. That's about it. I think it's very simple. Let's simplify it. There's no complication behind that.
Yeah. One quick question before we continue this particular aspect of the debate. I spoke about Vikrant Rona making it to the reminders list of the Oscars. There's the other argument saying Indians...
They enjoy it. I mean, our actresses want to dress up, they want to look nice. It's a glam field by the end of the day. It's okay, right?
Personally, what do you feel, sir?
It doesn't matter. I told you, my personal feeling is I don't go. It's simple as that. I just probably enjoy my films doing well. I enjoy the money that comes from the film in the back balance. I think that speaks more.
I'll come to that in a bit.
So it's, by the end of the day, I think we all connect to the success of a person or a film, right? We can always debate about the content of anything. We can never debate about the success of any particular product or a company or a person, right? Yeah. Here is an opinion, that's about it.
Okay.
We should respect it. I think somebody says it's bullshit. It's bullshit. If it is not, it is not. It's okay.
Yeah.
If only if it is trying to push upon you, implement on you, how can you go for an award? It is so rigged and bad. I mean, can you calm down is what we say. It's your opinion. It's okay. You know, there are people who love it, sir. I think it's nice. I personally don't want to go, but I like to see their pictures. Everybody looks nice. Our actresses are looking nice. I keep wondering why they don't look same every day. So why don't you dress up well? So
did you ever ask anyone?
Of course there are friends. We talk.
Okay.
It's just that your channels are not around when we talk.
Yeah, and you won't name it here.
It's not the point. The point is, you know, we would have had one line. We would ask, hey, you're looking nice. Yeah, why don't you dress up like this every day? If I say this in front of you, in front of this camera, that's it. Tomorrow you'll get us married. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's simple. You see, we are all colleagues. We are friends. We like them to look nice. You know, we all like to look nice. It's just a matter of whether you want to look nice at home or on a venue. It's okay.
I'll just go back to the larger theme of Southern cinema and Kannada cinema getting this kind of a prominence. Many believe when a regional language or a certain language gets this kind of a traction in popular culture, like movies or cinema, it allows people or even stars from that particular language to say, well, there's no one national language. There are 22 recognized languages. Mine is as equal as yours, and we all are one. We've seen this debate over the national language. Do you believe the success of...
I was a part of that, and I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You can ask me straight.
Yeah. So do you believe when a regional language or a non-Hindi language cinema does really well, it gives that much more freedom for the audience, the people and the stars to assert themselves?
It's got nothing to do with cinema, sir. I think it's a matter of a debate. When, when I told you in the beginning, when I said many years we've been watching Hindi films, I have favorite actors there. My brothers are there right now. And as a child, I was a big fan of Mr. Amitabh Ji. So there's no debate about the language over here, but it's a perspective when you say, you know, implemented, as I say, pushed upon.
Imposed.
Yeah, it's when it's superimposed on you, then comes a question as to why you're trying to do that. You know, we are there. You know, so many a times, even when my debate happened over there, it was a very simple tweet which I said that, okay, now the confidence, the fact that you actually think that I can understand Hindi is why you tweeted in Hindi, right? So what if happened if I tweeted in Kannada?
Yeah.
It's a simple thing. So it's not an arrogance. It's not an ego. It's actually a dignity. It's a love that I hold towards something that I speak on daily basis. Correct. So I think in India we are actually blessed that we have so many languages, so much of culture. It's there. I think if at all you just kind of respect each other, I think it's actually a very beautiful nation instead of getting into these unwanted debates. Yeah.
But was there something that was always on your mind, the whole imposition bit, before
No, nothing. I'm a very simple, cool Indian.
And did you meet Ajay Devgan after that, or did you have an interaction with him?
I will have to meet Ajay Devgan actually because Kajol is my favorite actress. I can't take against him.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm looking forward to working with her someday. I can't have her husband hate me. So yeah.
There's a conflict there.
It's not a conflict, it's a hope. It's a hope, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Mrs. Kajol is working with me and Mr. Ajay Devgan is on a video call staring at me all the time. So I don't want that to happen.
Or says don't sign a movie with.
So it's okay. So Ajay Devgan is my favorite actor right now.
Yeah. But no interaction after that. No interaction after that.
No, so I think we are all okay. I mean, by the end of the day, we are not holding any swords and fighting and killing each other. It's a matter of a debate and it happened public, right? So it was not between four walls. What happened there ended there, and in a very sweet way, in a language which all of us could understand, English, when it came there, right? So it's okay. It's a. Yeah. But if we meet, I actually we will probably have a drink together and say, hey.
Yeah. But did you ever think that you should probably pick up the phone and call him and clarify there?
No, sir. I don't have his phone number. So
okay.
Just in case you have, you can.
No, sorry.
But actually, I'm more interested in getting Kajol's number. If that works for me.
Yeah. Okay, you seem to have started one more, probably a good topic to discuss in gossip. The other aspect I want to ask about this particular issue is, did the perception or the kind of response that you got from Bollywood or Hindi industry change after that debate in any way?
No, not at all. The tweet, one day later, I was in Mr. Salman Khan's house. We were having a drink together, we were partying. So this thing doesn't rise because, let me tell you, even those people are way ahead in thinking. It's a matter of, nobody holds personal grudges or, this debate will pop up in person. It's over, right? It's a matter of being matured. There was an issue. Probably we simplified it. Move on. There's nothing that comes up again.
Okay, nice. I'll come to your personal life a bit. Nothing controversial. So, you finished 27 years, completed 27 years, and you tweet and you thank Mrs. Kichha Sudeep and your daughter and everyone. It's an important point that you make. When somebody is a star, the stardom is great, but it's also taxing for the family and people around you.
Really?
So, what was the thought there? And there's another question. You said your daughter is somebody who is giving blunt opinions and criticism. Which is one opinion that you think was really blunt and you said, okay, you could have sugar-coated this a little?
My daughter?
Yeah.
She's very sweet. To start with, because she's watching this right now.
So that looks like, I was about to say it's a statement.
She's watching right now. Yeah. So secondly, I think somebody needs to tell you the truth, yeah? We all think we are the best looking and we all think we make the best films and we think we are the biggest fan following. And we all think otherwise. We think we have the best of till actually a reality strikes and that reality is always at home. Somebody to keep telling you. Sometimes it sounds nasty, but I think somebody has to tell you and they are, I think, very frank in their opinions because they want to see you do well. Yeah, so I guess it's there and as blunt as I've seen my daughter get up like 20 minutes after the movie started and walk out. She didn't say anything, sir. Actually, she didn't have to say anything. So I got the point.
Silence conveyed everything.
No silence. That walk conveyed everything. Yeah. That walk was right out of the door, and I thought, okay, she just went to pick up something. She never came back. So half the time, my eyes were not on the screen, it was on the door. Where did she go? And I was hoping somebody else will not follow. After some time, even Priya followed. So yeah, I spoke a lot and then I was wondering what happened and yeah, some of the mistakes what you're not supposed to do again. So I guess that's what it is. But when I say on the tweet, when you're coming back to the tweet, when we thank, I think we do thank as actors and as film goers, I think, because half the time we are not at home, half the time we are not around. We are always traveling, and we are always between people. We are always between glamour. We are always between attention from everyone. So I guess it's not a great space to be in, which probably you and I won't understand. Only they will. Absolutely. So I guess it is important to thank them for at least being around still, and hanging around with us. Kept it hanging. So I guess if the relationships, most of our relationships, if we have to thank them for actually because it's still existing.
Yeah, they're tolerating all that.
It's not tolerance. It's not tolerance. It's a big sacrifice which I think all of them do, because most of the time they are taking care of things alone, and we are always there in the light. It's a lot of sacrifice, sir, from everyone.
On a lighter note, are you a possessive father?
No.
Like, do you ask your daughter, who are you texting?
I can't dare that.
Okay.
It's a daughter. I think daughters don't allow dads to do all that.
Yeah.
But they get possessive. Yeah, they get possessive because when my daughter saw that even the song that Vikrant thrown out, she was, you're not going to do such a song again. If you're going to ever sing a song like that to a daughter, it has to be me. I said, okay. But actually, nothing. I mean,
but you never asked who's that male friend that you're talking to? Who's the male friend that you're meeting?
No. I think my daughter is well. We have taken care of her well. We don't have to take care of her now. Nice. So upbringing is quite good. I think she knows what's best for her. She picks her friends, and I think we have to just acknowledge what she likes and what she doesn't.
Okay. Now, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is here, so we'll have to have a political question. You met him earlier in the week.
Where is he?
Okay, I think he's there. Sir. So you met him last week, and you know the kind of headlines that came out of that meeting.
Yeah.
So I'll have a question related to that.
I have the answer ready.
Okay, I'll have a much deeper question.
I have the answer ready.
Okay.
So basically, you have a question. Only that question you want me to answer, right?
I want you to elaborate a little more. That's it.
Okay.
It's not just a mere lesson.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So does stardom equal to electoral success? We've seen that happening in Telugu and Tamil industry. In Karnataka, probably except Mr. Ambarish and to a certain extent Mr. Jagesh, we haven't seen that happening. And there is certain expectation from your fans as well. Will Kichha Sudeep enter politics? Won't he enter? What are your thoughts, sir?
So the first norm of politics is never discuss your opinion. Whether you're coming into politics also, you should not discuss, because don't give a hint. That's the first norm, sir. So the question is gone there. I will not answer that part. So the day I enter, you'll know.
But I can tell you, you'll become a good politician by the way you have answered this.
No, my answers has got something to do with my smartness. It's not nothing to do with the political angle.
No, at least you handle the press conferences.
So when me and DK sir met at the house, we discussed about how do we deal this whole interview of CNN.
Okay.
So he told me what to answer, and he told me what he'll be asking and what he'll be talking.
Nice.
So that's exactly what we both discussed. So we discussed the size of the stage, the size of the chair.
Basically everything apart from politics. That's what you mean.
Sir, basically everything to do with politics, sir, because CNN is the one who deals a lot with politics, right?
Yeah.
So you think you can make a person sweat in an AC room. So on that basis, I guess we had a great discussion about how to handle this interview, and I think I'm doing good.
Okay, last two questions. Ever since we tweeted saying we are meeting you for an interview today, your fans have been on Twitter asking, some of them have warned, saying, hey, Kelero question say Kel Badappa. The others have said, there are two questions, largely. One is, which is Sudeep's next movie in this year? And second, will he direct again, and when? And also produce.
See, films today, the dynamics of cinema has changed. As in right, we were speaking earlier in the earlier part of the interview or the chat. Today, we just can't take a car and just put on makeup and start a film. Yeah, today the film travels a lot. So, well, with or without your knowledge, whether you like it or not, the film will travel. So, it is important for us to choose the kind of a film that we think can excite everybody across and penetrate through further languages, penetrate globally. So I guess wanting to progress from where you stopped at the earlier film, is something we all need to look into. So that is what is taking time for me to announce, because from past 3 years, We have been working on it. COVID also gave us a little more time
Yeah.
to think about what we should be doing. So yeah, I think when the announcement will happen, it will happen well, sir. But I am on it. See, more than anybody, this is my career.
Absolutely.
It's my life, and I want to act. That's the only way I survive, and that's the only identity I have as an actor.
As a director?
So as a director, I think today, there was a time, sir, I should tell you that I became, after becoming popular also, there came a time, when it was a low.
Yeah.
So when that low happened, I was getting scripts what was being rejected by the then top actors. So if he rejects, it will go to the B, and if the B rejects, it will come to the C. It was more like that. So I've seen that phase also. All right. So that is when I believed that an actor doesn't die by giving flops. A flop cannot kill an actor. It is the day when nobody is writing for you. That is the day an actor is dead. Today, when you're talking about direction, I feel so many people waking up in the morning, writing scripts for me, wanting, and they say, oh, if Sudeep has a character, Sudeep. See, today I'm just trying to cater to all of them. There are so many people who has made you a part of the script without even asking you.
Yeah.
So I keep hearing them out. See, direction for me is another hobby. It's another passion, but it is not a necessity. All right. So as an actor, I would only say that if a producer or director or writer coming to do a film with me, they all are trying to paint something. All right. And I like to be a color in that painting. That's all it is. So just make the painting complete, and that painting means a world to someone. So I'm trying to cater myself to all of them.
Yeah. There's another hobby of yours that you love, cricket. I believe you're practicing also.
Yeah.
So you were playing cricket at a pretty serious level, at university level as well. 27 years later, do you ever feel, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ cricket ಆಡಿ try ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು?
I loved cricket so much, like it is like an ex-girlfriend of mine. Yeah? She's come back in the form of CCL, in the form of KCC. It is there. It is right there. Just when we thought cricket is over for us, suddenly the CCL happens, KCC happens, and suddenly we are sitting in a ground and playing at an arena where there are 27, 30,000, 35,000 crowd, and we are feeling no less than a cricketer. It's just the quality of cricket may vary a bit, but then we are cricketers too. We are playing well, and we are playing for such a wonderful live telecast. We are playing for such wonderful crowd. I think it's a blessing. Cricket has not left me, and that's why I told you, it's a passion, and if you really, really love something, you can manifest it, and I believe that. And I also told you so online long back, it is not about what you want, it's about how badly you want. And I always badly wanted to play cricket, I'm still doing so. So I'm quite lucky that way it's back.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know how many in the audience know, but Mr. Kichha has a huge collection of bats signed by some of the legends of cricket. If I could ask you, probably the top three that really matter to you in that.
The topmost I give to Mr. Kapil Dev, because he made 175 bats, mongoose bats signed by that Indian cricket entire, and he kept a couple of bats for auction and everything. But see, remember, he is Mr. Kapil Dev.
Yeah.
He has made only 175 such bats. And his contact list, I don't know how many thousands or lakhs of people are there who are his favorites, right?
Yeah.
So the 117th bat has come to me. He has gifted it to me, and that mongoose bat is lying on the wall there, and I think it's one of the most thing. And next is Josh Butler, who sent his bat, same bat he hit 100 last IPL. That has come to me. And then the World Cricket bat that was gifted to me by Lords when I went to play there. So I should tell you that I'm the only actor who's played at Lords as a cricketer, and we have won the tournament there.
Fabulous.
And today there's a small brick over there at Lords which says Captain Cool Kichha. So it's a gift for me. So
fabulous.
So this has happened to me. So these are some of the things. Apart from that, it was an ambition for me that I should make a whole wall of all cricket bats and everything. So Virat Kohli has given me his cap. Like a lot of people.
I think you met Shikhar Dhawan yesterday or
day before yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he didn't give me anything.
Okay. He probably, after seeing this, will send you something.
We danced, we sang, we drank.
You mentioned Captain Cool. I just want to try and put you in a spot. If there's an IPL match with Dhoni leading Chennai Super Kings, and it's a finale, and it's against RCB, who do you support? I know you're a big Dhoni fan.
I'm an Indian fan. I will celebrate all the Indian cricketers. Now, see, when you're sitting over here, obviously your heart will go for RCB because there is RCB, it's ours, right? That is not the point. Point is RCB, definitely the heart goes out. But see, by the end of the day, how do you bifurcate your love or your priority or your, and he just, again, Dhoni is our legend. We love him. By the end of the day, we enjoyed the cricket and we go back. And there's little, we may sulk a bit, but then I think by the end of the match, all of us are quite drunk enough to feel happy for the other team also, right?
And we'll tweet saying, ಮುಂದಿನ ಸಲ ಕಪ್ ನಮ್ದೆ.
ನಾನೇನು ಟ್ವೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ. ಕಪ್ ಗೆದ್ದಾಗ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿರೋಣ, ಇವಾಗ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ IPL is a great thing that's happening because not only, as you rightfully said, it's giving such wonderful platforms for such wonderful talents of India. So I guess it's one of the best things that's happening. So we celebrate everybody, sir.
True. We have a lot of questions from the audience. We'll try and take 2-3 at least.
Yeah, no problem.
We have Ritu with the mic there. Anyone with a question?
Somebody.
Yeah, the mic is good.
Hi, thank you so much for your time here.
Hi, ma'am.
Have you seen Pathan? And in the present times, who do you think is the greatest and the biggest film star?
Ma'am, as a star, I say me only, ma'am. So why should I look less upon myself? I'm the star of my life and I respect other actors also. I have not seen Pathan as yet. I will see it shortly. But then I was busy seeing all my Kannada films. So there's a long list over there. I'll finish that and I'll go back to that.
Okay. Just one question.
The video mentioned one talent of yours which I didn't know. That's about singing. I didn't know that you are a singer. So can you exhibit the talent for two sentences?
I still don't know why they call me a singer, sir. I just happened to sing and it just happened like that. And yeah, I've been singing for people, for youngsters. Or like, for example, I hate to sing for myself in the film. But when there are youngsters and other people coming and asking me to sing, and if my singing is really going to help them, I've been very confidently singing. So that's my singing career for now. But you want to hear me?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I know, probably you've thanked your family for supporting you for 27 years. Anything that you want to dedicate?
No dedication. I'll sing a song which
Your choice.
Is going to be this flat? Or does it have some reverb, something?
Can we do that? We can? Yeah, okay.
Check. Make me sound good. Check. Yeah, okay. Little more on the reverb, please, or echo. Little more. Check. Yeah. ಮುಂಜಾನೆ ಮಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಸ್ಸಂಜೆ ತಿಳಿ ತಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಓ ಮನವೇ ನೀನೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಾಟ ನಿನಗಿನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನೆದೆಯೊಳಗೆ ನೀಡಿದು ಜಡಮನದ ಮೌನ ಮುರಿದು ಬಿಸಿ ಉಸಿರನ್ನು ನೀ ಬಗೆದು ನಿಟ್ಟುಸಿರನ್ನು ನೀ ತೆಗೆದು ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ಆವರಿಸು ಇದೆಗೆ ನೀ ಹರಿಸು ಮನದಾಳದ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸನಿ ಕುಂತಲ್ಲು ನೀನೆ ನಿಂತಲ್ಲು ನೀನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ನೀನೆ ಸಾಕಿ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲೂ ನೀನೆ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೂ ನೀನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ನೀನೆ ಸಖಿ ನನ್ನ ನೆನ್ನೆಗಳು ನೀನೆ ನಾಳೆಗಳು ನೀನೆ ಎಂದೆಂದು ನೀನೆ ಸಖಿ ಆವರಿಸು ಮೈದುಂಬಿ just ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ.
Fabulous. A huge round of applause for that. So on that note, we'll have to conclude this
Thank you so
Jackson,
much,
but
and
it's
thank you all, ladies and
fabulous.
gentlemen. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for, thank you for.
Thank you, Harish and Kichha Sudeep, for that wonderful, engaging session. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Kichha Sudeep? He's often called the troubleshooter for the grand old party, a force that keeps the party together in the time of crisis. Someone known for his sharp political acumen and mass appeal, an astute leader, a seven-time MLA, a close confidant of many, someone who has served in key ministries in the earlier governments, leading the campaign for the Congress party in the state of Karnataka, and known for his sharp attacks and stinging questions to the ruling government. We have with us Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, the President of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee, amongst us. So it's a pleasure to have you today evening. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. And before we begin the session with him, let's have a look at his political journey so far.
He is a trusted soldier of the Congress High Command, their troubleshooter and the political warhorse who can pull the party out of the tightest of spots. His journey started in the Youth Congress, and pretty soon a young Shivakumar was promoted in the ranks. His breakthrough moment came in 1985 when a then unknown 23-year-old took on former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda in the Southern constituency. Even though D.K. Shivakumar lost, his gutsy move prompted Congress to try and project the young leader from the Bokkaliga community to take on Devegowda. In 1999, Shivakumar defeated Devegowda's son H.D. Kumaraswamy before pulling off his biggest victory in the 2004 Lok Sabha election when he helped Congress's Tejaswini defeat Devegowda in the Kanakpura constituency. Due to these big wins, Shivakumar was inducted in the S.M. Krishna cabinet and made the Urban Development Minister. It's not just personal victories. In 2017, Congress made Shivakumar play host to MLAs from Gujarat to safeguard them ahead of a Rajya Sabha by-election, where Sonia Gandhi's close aide, Ahmed Patel's seat was on the line. D.K. Shivakumar believes this resulted in income tax raids on him and subsequent jail time. Then in 2018 came the dramatic moment when Shivakumar brought MLAs to the Assembly right before a crucial trust vote, thereby saving the then Congress JDS government by the skin of their teeth. Now, as Karnataka is on the cusp of Assembly elections, D.K. Shivakumar is hoping to pull off his biggest victory yet and bring the Congress back to power.
Well, without further delay, I now invite Mr. D.K. Shivakumar on the stage. Leading the conversation is our political editor, Mario Shakil.
a strategist, someone with unmatched political resilience and all that we showed in that AV just few minutes back. Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, you suspended the rally that you were on and traveled 200 kilometers to come for our event. We are really grateful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We had to honor without media, politicians, the public can't afford. So I gave you a word. I had to add a commitment. I have honored it and I come here today.
Thank you so much. The Congress party and you in particular have been in an election mode for the last few years, I would say. In November 2021, the Congress had planned the Mekedatu Yatra, 140 kilometers in which you covered 15 constituencies. And then we are seeing this present Prajadhwani Yatra as well. You have traveled the length and breadth of the state. What is the mood like? What is your assessment at present?
See, you reminded me about Mekedatu Yatra. Without water, none of us can survive. Either on irrigation or drinking or power, you need water. It is a nature. The law of nature is very much important. The Mekedatu project, what I was finding out, already a decision has been given by the authority that 177 TMC of water has to be given to Tamil Nadu. This year, 467 TMC of water has gone to the sea. We have to store it. A permission is being given us to build a balancing reservoir. Bangalore is a city which the world is looking at. You have 70% of the people coming outside the state and outside the city to Bangalore. It is our bound duty to give them clean drinking water. And Kaveri is the nearest point, and government has provided, the central government and the authority has provided to give them water. So we have to have a balancing reservoir. So a double engine government is there. They could not take up the issue. When the coalition government was there, I just prepared the DPR when I was the irrigation minister. That was being cleared, but still it was not taken. So I had to make a commitment. It is my bound duties to see that Bangalore is safe, because the people of Bangalore are helping the entire country and the state. So I should see that Bangalore will be given a good water. All of them, I think you might have watched, you please have your own research. All night, people will be with tanks, even for the apartments, even for the houses, even for the hotels. We have a water on within 100 kilometers of Bangalore. So this Mekedatu balancing reserve is immutable. We will have 400 megawatt of power, which will be done within 2 rupees, 3 rupees, it will be there. And we are not using that water for any of the irrigation. That is the commitment. So it is our bound duty to see that the Kaveri basin also will be benefited and Bangalore also will be benefited. That is why I had to have a walk for water. And I think after that, the BJP government within few days announced that 1,000 crores initial budget was
Someone with unmatched political resilience and all that we showed in that AV just few minutes back. Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, you suspended the rally that you were on and traveled 200 kilometers to come for our event. We are really grateful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We had to honor without media, politicians or public can't afford. So I gave you a word. I had to add a commitment. I have honored it and I have come here today.
Thank you so much. The Congress party and you in particular have been in an election mode for the last few years, I would say. In November 2021, the Congress had planned the Mekedatu Yatra, 140 kilometers in which you covered 15 constituencies. And then we are seeing this present Prajadhwani Yatra as well. You have traveled the length and breadth of the state. What is the mood like? What is your assessment at present?
See, you reminded me about Mekedatu Yatra. Without water, none of us can survive. Either on irrigation or drinking or power, you need water. It is a nature. The law of nature is very much important. The Mekedatu project, what I was finding out, already a decision has been given by the authority that 177 TMC of water has to be given to Tamil Nadu. This year, 467 TMC of water has gone to the sea. We have to store it. A permission is being given us to build a balancing reservoir. Bangalore is a city which the world is looking at. You have 70% of the people coming outside the state and outside the city to Bangalore. It is our bound duty to give them clean drinking water. And Kaveri is the nearest point, and government has provided, the central government and the authority has provided to give them water. So we have to have a balancing reservoir. So a double genuine government is there. They could not take up the issue. When a coalition government was there, I just prepared the DPR when I was the irrigation minister. That was being cleared, but still it was not taken. So I had to make a commitment. It is my bound duties to see that Bangalore is safe, because the people of Bangalore are helping the entire country and the state. So I should see that Bangalore will be given a good water. All of them, I think you might have watched, you please have your own research. All night, people will be with tanks, even for the apartments, even for the houses, even for the hotels. We have a water on our, within 100 kilometers of Bangalore. So this Mekedatu balancing reserve is inevitable. We will have 400 megawatt of power, which will be done within 2 rupees, 3 rupees, it will be there. And we are not using that water for any of the irrigation. That is the commitment. So it is our bound duty to see that the Kaveri Basin also will be benefited and Bangalore also will be benefited. That is why I had to have work for water. And I think after
and you've
that,
made the promise
the BJP government in the next, within few days, announced that 1,000 crores initial budget was being announced in the budget by Mr. Bommai ji. But till today, not even a single rupee has been spent on that, or the central government has not given clearances on the stomach of every common man. You should be sound, you should be strong. That is why we speak only on development. Development is the priority of a Congress party, either in the central or in the state.
So if you are confident that, development will become an important issue going ahead, because, model code of conduct will perhaps be in place in the next few weeks. The Congress party and you have launched a series of videos in which you are talking about this Kanakpura model. There have been a lot of model of developments that have surfaced in recent times, including Aam Aadmi Party talking about Delhi model, which perhaps won them the state of Punjab as well. What is this Kanakpura model? And of course, I should remind the audience that that is the name of his constituency, and a constituency from where you have won 3 times, and every time with a bigger margin, sir?
No, I won 7 times now.
From Kanakpura?
Yes. 7 times I've been there. I've been continuously there. It is a place where Ramakrishna Hegde also was the chief minister, from that same place. Kanakpura and Satnur has been merged and made into Kanakpura now. That's otherwise it was Satnur and Kanakpura both. See, in the Nanjundappa report, when Krishnaji made that report, it is the second backward taluk in the state. This is in the border of Tamil Nadu. My constituency is in the border of Tamil Nadu. After this Mekedatu, within 2 kilometers is Tamil Nadu. Not even a single industry was there. Not even a single industry where 10 people was employment was there. Now we have given a different shape to it. I know, I being in the public life as a legislator, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ 7 ಬಾರಿ ಶಾಸಕನಾಗಿರೋನು. ನನಗೆ ಜನ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ವಲಸೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Lot of people are coming to Bangalore for good education, for employment and various other things. I have to stop people coming to Bangalore. Bangalore is overflooded. I should see that they get their stomach filled with whatever they have. They have lands, they have resources, they have other facilities. Kanakpura now it is very famous for silk and milk. Earlier it was a granite place. Now no more granite, much granite. There are a lot of issues connected to the government. Now industries have come up. In Kanakpura Taluk, why Kanakpura model? You see the education. I know I've been suffering. I came to Bangalore only because of education. With no proper education, people are shifting to the urban places. We should see that a good education, whatever the private institutions are there, same type of education has to be given at the panchayat level. Then only you can see that people will stay back there. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Otherwise, the load on urban cities will be much more. Clean drinking water. You see this 10 rupees, 1 rupee a coin. I was the first man to implement in the state. The same project was in the state program also. More than 60 places in only Kanakpura and in Bangalore Rural Parliamentary Constituency, more than 400 places, you have that coin water, drinking water, clean water which is there. For 20 liters, 2 rupees is being given to that. Such type of program I started. You look at the farmers. In every single farmer, there they have a transformer. For one transformer, whatever, prati transformer, they used to pay more sara, nalo sara, lancha kodta idru. So when I was a power minister, I decided that I should somehow give up a new model to them. So every government and a farmer has an agreement. Every house has a new transformer for the farmer for the pump set. Like that, where the milk is there, you just go to Amul. Better than Amul, Kanakpura has a dairy. More modern than Amul in Gujarat. People may not go because it may be market. In Narega, there is a Narega, which Mahatma Gandhi ji, in the name of Mahatma Gandhi ji, that rural development work guarantee scheme was being started. Kanakpura stand the first in the country. More than 100 officers came to see that whether I have done anything wrong. In every panchayat, 2 to 5 crores has been spent on water, individual, check dams, roads, only on the infrastructure creation. So I being a legislator, I was a Jilla Panchayati member, I was a Taluk Panchayati member, I've been a society member, I've been a land grant chairman. I know a lot of things. I've been working in urban development, cooperation, and a lot of other departments I've been working. I know the pulse of the people. That is why the Kanakpura model I'm trying to...
Is it scalable? Is it scalable at the state level?
Definitely. Why not? Why not? See, the biggest strength of Karnataka is this Bangalore. This is not the Bangalore, but we want this Bangalore to come up. Bangalore gives 37% of the exports for the country, financially. We get back only 18%. That is a different issue. I don't want to comment on that. We help the other state. When Bangalore is well-sufficient state, if we stop this corruption, if we stop this Brashta BJP Sarkar, whatever this corruption is going on in the state, you can see that the entire state can do well with lot of facilities. Education, health, and communication should be the main priority. We should give a corruption-free government, then all this problem can be sorted out.
Okay. Since you're talking about corruption-free government, in the last few minutes that we have spoken, you have highlighted about this model, Kanakpura model, and then you have highlighted the need for clean drinking water. Then why did Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who was here just recently, she was here to announce the 2,000 rupee per month scheme for every woman in the household. And then the Congress party before that had announced 200 units of power. Why do you have to go in that direction? Because this is a model of welfareism which is practiced by the Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, one may say that you are copying, taking a leaf out of their book. It's an electoral playbook of theirs.
See, madam, I need not copy anyone. The country has a different model. See, when Manmohan Singh was heading this government, he just discussed on this direct transfer of money to every individual. You see UK, America, Australia, and so many other places, France and all. Are there not social responsibility, lot of issues where the problems are there, direct money has been transferred to the individual who are not able to do that? Today, the price rise is the biggest. Every man, you are a woman, you know how much, your income has not been doubled. The Honorable Prime Minister assured us that he is going to double the income of everyone. You go to the BJP manifesto. I have a here, if you want I can show you. He said that he is going to double the income of the farmer. Where is that? You could see in all the petrol bunks, ella petrol bunk munde nodta idri. Prime Minister photo, then one lady photo with a gas cylinder. Why that is missing? 440 rupees, now it is 1100 rupees. Are you not pinched? Have your income been risen? You see the petrol, you see the diesel, but still the oil prices in the national level is still coming down. But why? Every price cooking
role
oil.
as well.
Huh?
States have a role in the pricing as
No,
well.
maybe. That is why it is a double engine government. We want to help them. That is why I was a power minister, I am telling you. When I was a power minister, 10,000 megawatt was there in Karnataka. When I came out of the office, you ask, I think some friends of them of here who were the Chamber of Commerce who were here. When I came out of the office, it is 20,000 megawatt. 20,000 megawatt. 20,000 megawatt. I know how to save power, how to give that. We see in Karnataka, I'm telling you, you're speaking on the Kanakpura model, forget Kanakpura model. There is a solar park in Karnataka, the world largest solar park. Not even a single acre of land is acquired by the government or purchased by the government. I have gone with a model of being a farmer partner. The lands there was only 40,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees per acre. Now every farmer is getting 25,000 an acre every year. This is the concept which we are given. Lot of people commented on that. I believe that common man, farmer should be strong. So with this 20,000 megawatt, I know that there is a big transmission loss which I have saved from last
What about the feasibility? One view certainly is that this has not been worked out in terms of mathematics, and also what are your views on the old pension scheme?
Madam, there is a BJP manifesto here. BJP manifesto tells that now it was 6 hour power to the farmer. Now they have raised it, we raised it to 7. Now BJP has given in their manifesto they are going to give 10 hours power. How can they give 10 hour power if power is not there? Why did they promise this? 3 hour extra power cost you 6,000 crores. I was a power minister. 3 hours extra power cost you 6,000 rupees. Instead of giving only to the farmers, these are all the people. 85-90% of the people are within this 200 unit. So the prices are going high. The income is on the soil. So we want to help. So that is why we decided to give 200 unit, 200 unit to Uchita, 2,000 rupai Kachita. I just discussed with Sonia Gandhi, I just discussed with Mallikarjun Kharge, I discussed with Rahul Gandhi, I discussed with all the people of the state. More than 9,000 people gave the response what the manifesto will be. Everyone was shocked with the price rise. They are not able to manage. Our keli samsara nadsak aagta illa, kashta aagta ide. Enne bele, samaniyada bele 90 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಡೀಸೆಲ್, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಬೆಲೆನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆದಾಯ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. So we should help them directly. We decided for all the women who is taking care of the family, directly we will see that she will get.
How is this empowerment?
See,
I mean, giving 2,000 rupees to a woman isn't really empowerment. You have to make her educationally powerful. You have to give her other benefits that she needs.
That is what. See,
provide education, provide jobs.
If she is financially strong, her mental capacity will be strong. If my pocket is not strong, nothing will work out. So 2,000 rupees per her account, 1,500 rupees it costs per power. It is 720 rupees as on now within 200 units. It will be 4,200. For 5 years she will get 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees.
Okay, since
is this not sufficient? If we stop this corruption, this Prashta BJP Sarkar, I was looking at Honorable Chief Minister was telling Congress stand for corruption. I did not tell that it is the state president of the Contractor Association who wrote a letter to the Prime Minister that yes, this your government is taking 40% commission. We are not able to do that. I could see all the estimate done, which cost about 100 crores. The estimate is done at 200 crores.
But Mr. D.K. Shivakumar,
That is why we want to stop all this and give a corruption-free government. With this saving, we can help out all the common
Since you ran the PayCM campaign just few months back, the criticism that came from the BJP was that you should not be teaching about corruption. If anything, you ran a government which was full of corrupt people. Do you really have a model to give a government which is full of clean people?
See,
that is not there.
I am telling you, Congress party is committed to give a government with a governance. See, I was the urban development minister. When I was the urban development minister, I was the planning authority of the airport authority. Some of my friends are here sitting who are in the Chamber of Commerce here. With 6 lakhs of rupees, we purchased 2,000 acres of land and we started that airport. 2,000 government land, 2,000 this one. On the foundation, Atal Bihari Vajpayee came to lay the foundation, the Prime Minister of this country. Mr. Krishna was the Chief Minister at that point of time. Atal Bihari Vajpayee said there was a time when world leaders, by the last 4 months, about 4 or 5 Prime Minister and President came to Bangalore. He said there was a time that world leaders first used to go to Delhi, then they used to fly to Chennai or Hyderabad or Mumbai or Calcutta. Now the time is that in this Congress regime, in this Krishnagiji government, world leaders are coming to first to Bangalore and then they are flying to Delhi. This is not my statement. This is Atal Bihari Vajpayee's statement, which is on record. You can take out. This is what the Karnataka governments are earned. This is not, now you see what BJP government has done. 40% government, 40% commission. The most
Will you stop commission system completely?
Most corruption capital it has become. I am telling you, I am confident this Karnataka people will give us an opportunity to serve them. We will come out with a law, a transparent law. We know how to save money. We know how to give good administration. See, last 5 years, Mr. Siddaramaiah ji was there, the Chief Minister. Mr. Krishna was there, the Chief Minister of the Congress regime. Any small incident, any small issues on corruption, anyone has pointed out? BJP had an opportunity last 5 years. Either when we were in the opposition, they were in the opposition. Did they open their mouth? Or now they could do anything? Now elections are coming near, just they are trying to convince the people, close up their faces. Nothing can happen. All it is, everything has gone up. Only 60 days or 50 days they will be there. Then let us close their shop.
Okay. Since you have brought the name of Mr. Siddaramaiah, the former Chief Minister, both of you are jointly carrying out this yatra, the Prajadhwani Yatra. Just few days back, there was this entire letter controversy which had erupted of some letter being sent to Mrs. Gandhi.
No, see.
Is everything all right between the two of you?
See, BJP, they doesn't have they have lost their confidence. Their internal survey, their party, they feel that. See, you know that earlier, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, came and said that the next leadership will be done with Mr. Bommai. I have always a good respect for Mr. Bommai also. He is the Chief Minister, no doubt in it. Under his leadership, they are going to run an election. But now again, after 6 months, he is coming to tell that we are going to show Modi face. Under Modi leadership, we are running to the election. What it means?
What about the Congress party? Under whose face are you fighting this election?
Congress party believes in collective leadership. It is Mallikarjun Kharge, it is Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, it is Mr. Siddaramaiah, and so many other leaders are there. We run by a collective leadership, then the party will decide whomever has to be.
Okay. I'm going to have a rapid fire round in just a few minutes, but before that, there is a third party as well in this election, that is JDS. How big a threat is Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy?
See,
and if we look at a situation, if they get 25 to 30 seats, will the Congress be open to the idea of repeating history?
We have a lot of respect for the party. We wanted a BJP government to go out of power. without unconditionally we supported them. People have given them opportunity. Twice we gave them opportunity, though they did not have a mandate. I think they could not utilize it. I think the people, he has lost the confidence of the people in the state. No more, I think, much to discuss on that. Opportunity has been given. When you can't deliver, people will look up the alternative. The only alternative now left is the Congress party.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಅವಾಗ ಅಭಿನಯ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
It will not happen. I am confident. All my service tell. I have been walking the breadth and of the state. I have already traveled more than 500 kilometers on Padayatra. Then on bus yatra, more than about 800, 900 kilometers I have done. I know the pulse. We are going to touch 140. We will have a government on our own.
One view is that when, for all the optics that you and Mr. Siddaramaiah may be putting up, particularly what happened during Bharat Jodo Yatra, when Rahul Gandhi himself was here for 21 days, during the ticket distribution period, perhaps the differences will play out in the open.
See, I don't have any difference with anyone. For us, winning with a social fabric is very much important. We have a system, we have a screening committee. I am not alone to decide the candidate. Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, he is from the state. He has been from 72 years there, 50 years of political experience. He will be chairing the final election committee. He knows the length and breadth of Karnataka. He will guide us well. We all work together. For us, individual doesn't matter. The party and the victory is matter. We want to give a good governance. The Congress has an history. That history is with a good, we have important issues which to play to help the people. We want the employment to be created in the state. We want the second tier cities to go more stronger. We want to give good education to all of them, good health system to all of them. This is the Congress ideology and we have a lot of things to discuss on that.
Okay.
I think we are confident with seat selection. We will go on a collective leadership and we will decide the winning as the right.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೃಷಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
21 days here. What impact has it had on the ground? The sense is that it was about image makeover of Rahul Gandhi. He perhaps has managed to communicate that. But when it comes to organizational challenges or other challenges in the grand old party, those teething issues have not been addressed.
See, Rahul Gandhi has created history in Indian politics. Though the Prime Minister was offered to Srimati Sonia Gandhi at the time of UPA 1 and 2, she demanded for Rahul Gandhi to take her in the second term. He said no. The greatest economist, Mr. Manmohan Singh, has to become the Prime Minister. That was his. They never took up the responsibility. Gandhi family never took up the responsibility. They led the party. They brought party to power. They made Manmohan Singh the Prime Minister. And we could see a lot of reforms which we have taken through various amendments. Today, he walked. Why? Because the country is suffering with hatredness on price rise, on employment. He want to meet the people, know the pulse. That is why he took up this great challenge. Some of them used to walk. Ask any one of the BJP leader, have they tried this in any state? Except our Rashikar Reddy. No. So, he has walked from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. He has seen the hotland, he has seen where the biggest snow, the heat, the cold, everything he has been witnessed.
But
and now he knows that.
Parameshwara resigned few days back from
that is always planted story.
Head of poll manifesto committee.
He is the chairman of my manifesto committee.
He's continuing to be.
Yes. We yesterday all we were there together. He is continuing. Why will he resign? What was the point to resign? He is the most principled man. He has run the party for 8 years. Under his leadership, also Congress party has come to power. He was the deputy chief minister.
One view is that the Congress perhaps is peaking too soon or has peaked too soon. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi's rallies will begin, and we have seen in multiple states, whenever it is about that, campaign blitzkrieg of the Prime Minister, people start looking at BJP very, very favorably.
I think, if BJP or Prime Minister would have intervened, including the Finance Minister have intervened, when the country was in crisis, or Karnataka was in crisis, At the time of COVID, or at the time when there was a big floods in the North Karnataka, why did not Prime Minister come? Why did not Finance Minister come? Now at the time of election, they know that under Bommai leadership, they can't come to power. Now frequent visits every week, one program, lot of things are going on. Because they know that they have lost the ground, they are trying to show their face. That's all. Nothing. It is a political gimmick they are trying. But still they are not getting good crowds.
But you know that
See,
the BJP has a strong election-winning machine.
One thing. You should see, 3 days back, they have issued a letter to all the institutions. The Prime Minister program is there. You should bring all the boys of the colleges and girls to the Prime Minister institution. Is this not a shame? Let them bring their party cadres or common man. Let them invite them. They are using the government machinery for a Prime Minister program. Is this the strong government, double-engine government doing this? I think none of us has tried to do this type of politics. Anyway, it is a closed chapter. After 60 days, you will have a new government. Let us shake hands on that day.
Okay, let's see what happens in 60 days. In 2018, the Congress party certainly tried to woo the dominant Lingayat community. That did not really yield much result for you.
Pardon?
My question is that with the BJP going ahead with his caste quota promise, do you have a counter for that?
See, I am telling you, Nodi, because Kannada is also watching. ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನ ಒಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. They are trying to divide all of us. No solution is been given to anyone. For example, ST reservation, SC reservation, they have hiked the quota. If they are serious, if they want to do it, if they want to help them, bring in the parliament, make it a 9th schedule, and make a law. Why are you not doing it? You have a double-engine government. For other Vakaligas or Lingas, something you have brought, bring it to the parliament. Who has stopped you? Any such type of reservation, internal reservation, there should be a constitution amendment which should be brought under the 9th schedule. Why are not bringing? Just announcing here, try to see that a small paper had been given, some order is given, whether you can implement. You may see something good there until it enters your stomach or until you get a fruit. It not be. What is the meaning when the fruit is only in the tree? You should cut it and eat it. Like that, the reservation, no one has been benefited here. They are just trying to fool all of us. People of Karnataka are very shrewd people, pragmatic people. They know that this can't happen.
No, my question is, besides questioning the sincerity, do you have a counter?
No, counter, see, we deliver. Whatever we promise, we deliver. I am telling you. Whatever promise we do, that is the biggest strength of the Congress party. Congress party has its own history. Since we formed our party, after our leadership, after our constitution, whatever we have promised, we have delivered, we'll do it.
Okay. In 2018, the Congress party did not really do that well in Dakshin, Kannada and Udupi districts. In fact, you had won only 1 out of the 13 seats. Do you have a plan for this region?
See, definitely, this is not only Dakshina Kannada. We know we have failed. We have failed. Now we have a separate agenda for it. We have a coastal region. We want to bring tourism. We wanted to bring. See, I believe that we have to strengthen. See, you are showing some lot of important buildings, roads, transportation. This has to be replicated in the 2-tier cities. Employment generation has to come up. Such buildings has to come up in Mysore, Dharwad, Mangalore, wherever place. Because you get more money, you get more for the urban infrastructure, you will get taxes, employment will be created. You will not give anyone a single rupee. The private developers will do it. Employment will be created. Instead of boys, now after COVID, you could see that all of them were working from home. Now, if you create such opportunity, this state has more than 200 engineering colleges, more than 400 MBA colleges, 77 medical colleges, which no state has. This is the human resources capital of this country. So this Karnataka can do lot of things. We can set a model. The entire India is being seen through Bangalore and Karnataka. That is why we have to protect, and we should see that not only Bangalore, we should see that all these 7 second-tier cities also grows like Bangalore.
But Bangalore is now infamous for potholes and infrastructure collapse.
That is the gift given by the BJP, Brashta BJP Sarkar. That is a gift. All of you have shown well. Thank you. Not only you, all the TVs have shown the potholes. More than hundreds of deaths has happened. We will have to sort out. I was reading in some media about more than 6,000 crores has been spent to fill up the potholes. Where that 6,000? Only to fill up the potholes.
But your entire attention is on tier 2 cities. What about Bangalore? This is the capital city which is crying for attention.
That is why I am telling you, initially you said that first water, education, roads. I don't want to come out with my agenda. I have a different agenda here. I have a vision for Karnataka. I have already planned after I took over the president of the party. I have decided what we have to do for Bangalore. I know what the traffic problem is there in Bangalore. We know we have a commitment. I don't want it to announce it now because 17 there is a budget. I don't want the chief minister to copy my plan.
Okay.
After that, let me have my own plan and I'll announce later.
Your party men say that perhaps there is some CD factory that is being run by you.
It is a rubbish, I think. It is all rubbish. It is a garbage news.
And you're also one of the wealthiest politicians of the state and also of the country. So there is that disconnect that is being spoken about between you and the people.
Pardon, I could not hear it properly.
Okay, I think I got the answer for that. Let's begin with yes and no. The rapid fire, for that you have to just flash a yes or a no. There'll be no sentence that you have to say, sir. My first question to you is, will the Congress party win more than 130 seats? Okay. Do you want to be the chief minister? Do you want to be the chief minister?
I want the party to be at the government.
Sir, there is no yes. It has to be only yes or no. Placard here, it has to be only yes or no.
No, I want the party to have the chief minister.
Okay. But you can pick up the placard and answer. Should Rahul Gandhi be the prime ministerial face of the opposition?
Why not?
Have you patched up with Siddaramaiah?
Huh?
Have you sorted out your differences with Siddaramaiah?
There is no differences with both of us.
Yes or no?
There is no difference. Why I should tell no? There is no difference. If there is a difference, patch up. What is there to be patched? I've been working with him for 4.5 years in the government, and I am the president of the party. He is the CLP leader, an opposition leader. What is the difference?
One view is that the Congress should be preparing for 2029 and 2024 is a gone case. I mean, it's almost given. The results are known.
2024, Congress will form the government.
Do you really have a plan in the sense that I want to, get an answer on that, but my producer is telling me that I have to go ahead with the rapid fire round. Did at any stage you got an offer from the BJP to join them?
Yes, of course.
Sir.
Of course.
Will you elaborate on it?
I selected between going to jail or become the deputy CM. I selected to go to jail.
Will you join hands with the JDS? Will you join hands with the JDS if the need be?
No, I think it is not needed now.
So that's a clear no.
Congress will come to power on its own.
Okay. Is the infighting the biggest enemy of the Congress in Karnataka?
Pardon?
Infighting the biggest enemy of the Congress in Karnataka?
No.
So that's a clear no. There's no infighting?
No.
Okay. Are you of the opinion that Congress should now place more power in the hands of the young leadership and perhaps ensure that the older lot is moved to the Margdarshak panel?
No, definitely Congress party is looking at young leadership.
They're looking for a young
Yes.
Okay. Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, I remember famously you had spoken about your beard and you had said that this is the beard of revenge.
No, it is not the beard of jail. I got this in jail.
Yes.
And I've continued it. A day will come. I'll send a message on it.
You are the troubleshooter of the Congress party. We saw you active during this entire Maharashtra crisis, also during Gujarat. Do you fear at some stage, perhaps closer to the elections, the agencies will come knocking at your door?
Every day are knocking, even today. Today morning, I am very sorry to tell, I get a CBI notice asking my fees of my daughter. How did he pay? How much she has paid? Just today I got a notice. Every day that they are knocking my door.
So each and every agency?
Every day, either ED or CBI or Benami property, all these things. I have to set a battery of lawyers only to fight these issues.
Okay, let me open
Since
the floor.
politically I did not yield to them, I've been facing it.
Okay, let me open the floor to questions. Please go ahead, Ritu.
P. Rao, President of Bangalore Hotel Association. The major two issues we are facing is one is price rise, you have already answered. The second is unemployment. Unemployment comes because we have a very short of employer. As an employer, I have to face at least 20 silent partners with the various types of licenses. Morning, labor inspector will come, next day weight and measurement, very next day pollution department. After 2 days GST, like this, we have to invoice at least 20 silent partners. Ease of doing is in ICU. What is your next planning? How do you help the employer?
See, he's in hotelier. He's a president of the hotel association. We have some big weaknesses, politicians. We just look only with the employee. We should have a strategy to make the employer strong. If he is strong, he can give more employment. That is what he is suffering. Government has not helped for who has created more jobs. As a hotel man, definitely when he creates a hotel, in a hotel, even in a restaurant, at least the owner may be one, there will be 100 people working in that. So we have to look at, see that he is strong. If he is strong, so the harassment what has been going on is looking at, I am sure, be confident, tell all your friends, there will be a Congress government, will give a single window agency to sort out your problem.
More questions, please. Ritu.
So my name is Dr. Bagli. I'm a professor. 200 engineering college, we have a technical university. 75 medical colleges, we have a medical university. You also mentioned that, 350 plus, MBA institutes. Does Congress have an idea in case, it comes to the power to have a management, university?
See, already there are management institutions. Definitely, I'll sail with that idea. The management, we have a very big, strong education base. Karnataka is an education hub. Definitely, your suggestion is welcome. I assure you, we will be your voice.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I think
Hello?
Mr. Arun is raising his hand.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. I'm a president of Tax Practitioners, Karnataka. So my name is S.N. Prasad. So our Karnataka is now number 2 in collection in GST and income tax also. So
How much you are getting back?
Nothing, sir.
No,
so
you should tell that, no.
Well, for that purpose we are asking. So is there any security to GST practitioners, maybe practitioner for the practitioner?
See, we don't have the confidence in the present GST pattern. All of them have been targeted, harassed. We have to come out with a mechanism that will be very ease of doing business. We should see that any government should see that if you are strong, government will be strong. If you are weak, government will be weak. When you give more taxes to us, we should protect your interest, see that you never go out of the law. Within the law only, we should see that you will be helped. But now the situation is not that. Every man who does business to help, who create jobs, no one is giving them money. We are not giving any soups or anything. But he is, with his hard earned, he is building a state and building this one. We are not, only our officers are harassing them. Every day they are harassing. We know about it. I know about it. Myself also being harassed with so many.